Yo, what's going on, y'all, man? First episode of the Heart2Start Fantasy Football Podcast. Man, I'm your boy, Heart2Start Kev. Got our co-host here. State your name, gangsters.
Guccini, man, a.k.a. Heart2Start JD, man.
Man, Brody Cortez, a.k.a. the champ of this thing, the whole thing, about to double up on these bums. Second
I
year
don't want
in
to
a row.
hear that, man. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. He whooped my ass in the championship,
I
man.
ran the whole table last year. 1 L. I took an L to him. Didn't really matter. We met again, and we was on the collision course to the ship.
And
I
see
had
what
to
we
handle business, man. That's what I had to do.
That's good, because I know my notes. That's good, so go ahead and run it back.
Yo, it's your boy Heart2Start Cam here with the first episode of the Heart2Start Fantasy Podcast, man. We got my co-host here. State your name, gangsters.
Yo, what's good, man? It's the Guccini fella, a.k.a. Heart2Start JD, man.
Yo, it's Brody Cortez, a.k.a. the champ, a.k.a. the double up, man, a.k.a. Beyonce. They got me in the middle. I'm like the Beyonce of Destiny's Child right now.
I mean, I guess the champ can sit in the middle. You know, hey, I'll be the first one to recognize the champ because he beat the Juggernauts, man. That was my team. He beat me in the championship. He beat me. But, I mean, what can you do when you lose OBJ and Connor? You know what I mean? Come on, man.
Or when you got to play Pat Mahomes or CMC and, you know, I had some hitter Hopkins. I had hitters on the team, so he did too. But they let him down when the time was right. So.
Hey, a loss is a loss and a win is a win. Yep. But matter of fact, that's a good intro to our fantasy league, which is what made us start this podcast. Yeah. The name of our fantasy league, AOB Fantasy Football. And man, it's one of the most competitive leagues out there.
It's gonna be a good year for the AOB.
I'll say this: when other people, I don't know if it's the same for y'all, but when other people talk about their leagues and I talk about mine. Like, I always get that feeling like, man, your league's not like mine, bro. And everybody probably gets that, but y'all don't get that feeling, though? Like, the competitiveness of this league is unmatched.
It's crazy, bro.
We talking about trolling,
all that
memes, 24/7 shit talk.
I got a good example. BJ, a cat in the league, he was shook the whole time. We knew it. He waited until we left Scottsdale to text the chat like, hey, I ain't gonna lie, I was shook. I just couldn't say it then because y'all was gonna be on me for the whole weekend.
No, what he said was Andy Reid fucked this whole
team exactly.
Because he reached for Damian Williams in the second round.
You
know, and it's, you know, like I said, the competitiveness is, you know, AOB, just give you a quick origin. This is our 11th year. All of us have known each other for forever. You know, we do the live draft for the last 4 years. This was our 4th year. We just did it at Scottsdale, Arizona. Shout out to the W pool party. Facts. They took very good care of us.
Man, they showed
very
love
good.
out
So
there.
there's a lot of love. And you know this, and we just trying to take it to a different city every year. We did Vegas twice, Mexico, and like I said, Scottsdale. So this is like this is a family podcast. You know what I mean? When we talk shit all day, it's competitive. So when we arguing, it's real arguing. It's not. We don't come scripted.
It's not scripted.
Not scripted.
Facts. It's unfiltered.
Genuine.
This is the people's podcast right here.
People's podcast for the culture, man.
For the culture, man.
For the
That's
culture.
what it
You
is.
see the Remy up here. You see, ain't no hand for the culture, but we gonna get it. We gonna get a little bit of.
Matter of fact, I'm glad you mentioned that. At Guccini, JD on Twitter.
Facts.
Weekly, y'all let him know what you want him to drink, because this is the mad drinker right here. You know, you may see his volume go from here to there. That's because one of them alcohols might be
You might see his forehead glistening over there. That might just be the 1800 getting to him.
But I'm gonna give it to you real uncut facts. Nothing but
matter of fact, take a drink so we can get some of that.
We need to pour it up on the screen, but it's okay. I came prepared. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. Facts. Everything, man.
Yeah, man. Like I said, this is something that we want to keep going for a long time because you know we live this fantasy stuff. Facts. You know, this is you know, shout out to my fiance and all the wives and you know they put up with us. You know, sometimes my girl feels like I'm cheating on her with the league. Not a woman. Right. You know, on my phone with, are you arguing again? Probably.
Yeah, are you in your stupid group chat?
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
You know. So it's just, you know, like I said.
And these two go the longest too, bro. Just to give you a little insight, these niggas go the longest. They the real Twitter.
I wave the white flag. He beat me in the shit.
My niggas be going, boy.
I don't want no trouble. I don't want no trouble. But I'm coming for everybody. Because I think I got the best team in the draft. That's our draft board behind it. We might get into it a little bit. But, you know, I think I got the best team. You know, as a matter of fact, let me give you my team a little bit. Julio Jones, Mike Evans, Stephon Diggs with the
Who was your biggest steal? Who was your biggest steal?
My biggest steal? Oh, Shady McCoy in the 11th round. Look, I'm at the draft like, oh, I hope nobody is seeing this news. Yeah. Should I take him in the 8th, 7th, 9th? Right. I'm like, you know what? Everybody look a little shook. They don't know Shady is talking about going to the Chiefs, so let me go ahead and
throw that dart
my way, and you know, that's how it goes, man. League winners.
Shady might do you
winners.
Might do you Shady. How you feeling about your team, bro?
My team, I mean, we finna double up, man. I mean, look at the three right there. Look at the big three. I had to go with Thomas, you know, my fellow top, my cousin, you know what I'm saying? And I got to get Tyreek Hill, of course. And then I really didn't even want to get Pat Mahomes that early. I was finna get another quarterback. I had some in mind, but when I had the matchup with Tyreek Hill right there, it was kind of a no-brainer at that point.
Who was your biggest?
It was between Dalvin Cook and Tyreek, or it was between... No, that was my second round. It was between Dalvin Cook and Tyreek. Ended up going with Tyreek. I think my biggest steal of the draft, I got a couple.
Well, other than your big three, your team is kind of weak, so there ain't no steals, man. Like, from champ to chump, man.
Champ to chump.
I got hitters. And we play week 1, so the next week in the podcast.
We will let you know what's going on next week.
His tone gonna go change because, you know, I've been giving it to him the last few years.
That's bye-week Brody right here, man. You know? Wait, hold on. Last few years, I've been whooping ass and taking names. You just got me in the championship. But like I said, white flag. Let's get away from that. You know what I mean? But like I said, we got the meme king here. If you argue with somebody and you need a meme, add him on Twitter, and he gonna come with one for sure.
I for sure been like, hey, slid him a picture of him and been like, hey, can you cook something up for me? I need something for this week.
The only thing off limits in our league
is the wives and kids.
That's it, bro. Everything, man. We didn't have. What's some of the funniest things?
We'll talk about your acne on your face. We'll talk about the bumps on your lip. Whatever
your
you got.
Double D cups that you might got going on.
Hey, I didn't caught the Bamish is the Bamish is the code name for the commissioner of the league, but I didn't caught that boy feeling so good on camera and vacation that he made a t-shirt, bro. We fucked him up one year, you know what I mean? And the boy that did it, he went 2-12. I don't know what he did, but we call him the curse of the shirt. I'm telling you. But
that's probably why I was supposed to make him a shirt this year.
That's why I did. So look, y'all, let me tell you right quick. We had a bet. The loser of the championship, the other person gets to make a shirt, and they got to wear it at the draft.
Yeah.
I've been bugging him about where's my shirt. He wanted it to say Juggernaut, because I said my team was the Juggernauts all year. He didn't bring it, and now that I think about it, he was scared of the curse of the shirt.
It's coming, though. We're going to have him wear it on the podcast. I'm going to save it.
That's what we're going to do.
We will give you a lot of different terms you might hear. So, like, when we refer to the league, we're referring to AOB. You know, that's our league. So you might hear us talk about the matchups or the players or even terms. Like, we got terms, like I said, the Shook crew, the ones for the Shook. You know, we got Heart2Start, which is why this podcast is called Heart2Start, because, you know, you may have a player, like, for example, I'm playing the champ here this week. He drafted Pollard thinking Elliott wasn't going to play, you know, and he's still trying to save face, is saying he wants to start Pollard. But I know he's going to start Will Fuller, so I'm going to troll him all week and say, do you got the heart to start? Are you going to start Fuller? You going to start Pollard? You going to start Sutton? Who is it going to be? Which one? And best believe, if he messes up, you was too smart to start, bro.
Too smart to start.
Or you didn't have the heart to start.
Or the heart to drop and go get somebody else.
Heart to drop.
Let that nigga Pollard go, man.
I heard the heart to drop. We're going to get into that. I got some feelings on that, so
we'll get into a lot of that. But you know what? Let's just jump right into it, because, you know, like I said, we call ourselves professionals and experts. You know, we've all won our share of other leagues, but, you know, this is the only league that matters. If you didn't win this league, you didn't win none. But like I said, this is something that we do daily. So let's get into the first topic. I think I want to go with breakout players drafted after the 6th round, ADP wise. Could start off with some wide receivers. I'm gonna start off with a wide receiver that's on my team. One of my favorite sleepers this year, who I have in 2 leagues.
Of course it is.
Curtis Samuel. Curtis Samuel. Tell what y'all think about Curtis Samuel. I'll tell you what I think, but I'm gonna go last. Tell me what y'all think, man. Let me know something.
First. I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna hate on the brother. It's not that I don't like Curtis Samuel. I think Curtis Samuel is a dope player, but I think Chris McCaffrey gonna probably get a quarter of the catches, 20% of the catches. Then you got Olsen. You know how Cam feel about Olsen, but I think when people forget, what about DJ Moore? DJ Moore had more receptions, more yards, more receptions per yard, and was a rookie, and had 1 year less year under his belt than Curtis Samuel. So I think he ahead of Curtis Samuel as far as the number one receiver goes. I like Curtis Samuel, but is he going to be a real big factor like that? Like a Will Fuller or something like that, or a Matt Breida, who I feel like is going to be a breakout? Nah, I don't really think that.
So how many? Can we while Guccini talks, can you tell me how many receptions or whatever that DJ Moore had last year? Because
55, I believe. I looked at it earlier. I think he had about 55. I think he had around 7.
But we do got to take into consideration Cam's shoulder was hurt, so all passes were dump downs.
Dump downs, yeah. And
after the Pittsburgh game, week 8, because I had Cam last year, and Cam was a top 10 quarterback going into that game, and Cam was killing. That's when he did get hurt, and that's when this shit did start to dump off too, though. But also, I think Samuel was hurt as well last year. He didn't play the whole 16 games.
DJ Moore, I think, is getting the majority of the snaps on the slot, so I think that's another big plus for him too. So not to shit on one of your players, but
sorry if we're a little under the weather. Like I said, we just spent 4 days in
a lot of talking, a lot of yelling,
a lot of trash talking at the pool party over the.
We held it down for the City Boys. We still in the league.
Hey, like I said, man, I can't relate to that hot boy, and all that, but.
I'll talk about the weather. It was hot as fuck.
It was hot as fuck, bro. It felt like 1,010.
It was literally hot, boys.
But man, it was crazy. So, what you think about Curtis, man? Curtis Samuel.
To be honest, I think Curtis Samuel is a great candidate for a breakout player.
League winner, though?
League winner? No, I don't know about that, because to be a league winner at the wide receiving position, you're going to have to put up top 5, top 6, 7 at least wide receiver numbers, and that I don't think he can do, but I do believe at his ADP of being a 6th round or higher, which 7th, 8th, whatever you got him in, I do believe that he can crack that 24 and under, which will put him at a WR2, wide receiver 2 numbers. And just to throw something out there, I do see him getting close to a stack with 70 catches, 80 catches.
Stack of what?
A stack of yardage. I think he can do that though, bro. If Cam is completely healthy, and with Olsen coming back and controlling the hashes, and you got Curtis Samuel, if you remember what he was doing in college, that boy,
he deep ball threat
without a doubt. And you got C-Mac, that's the fucking ultimate Swiss Army knife. You can line him up anywhere. You know what I mean? I think this offense definitely has the potential to have maybe 3,000-yard receivers with the first person since Roger Craig to have 1,000 on the ground and 1,000 in the air receiving. I think that's how high I am on C-Mac.
You got Samuel? Yeah. Oh, you talking C-Mac. Okay, C-Mac.
Yeah, but I got Samuel in another league. But just to try and state my case, I definitely am high on Carolina as a whole. I like how they went and snatched Gerald McCoy, kept him in the motherfucking division. You know what I mean? I see the defense getting better. You still got Luke Kuechly. You know what I mean? If they can get back to that 2016 form, get to snatching shit and giving Cam more opportunities to deal with these dudes, I really think that it's full throttle with them boys, and they going to come for them Saints, bro.
I'm glad you said this. Look, there's one thing you said about Curtis Samuel in college, about what, his deep ball? Catching deep ball?
Boy, crazy.
So look. This is why I love Curtis Samuel. Cam was on a bad year with his shoulder. Nothing was going deep over there, which is why I think McCaffrey's numbers were inflated, because most of them were dump downs. Curtis Samuel, you know what the longest reception he had last year? 53 yards. One time. That's it. Cam was not throwing the ball. So just the decent season he did have, he averaged. Curtis Samuel, I'm talking about, 12.7 yards per catch last year. 4.8 targets a game. With Cam with a bad. Now I know they were probably throwing quick ones to Curtis Samuel and whoever, and that's where the 12 will come. You might start off a 5-yard catch. But just imagine with Cam healthy, with his arm right. That boy's going to be nice, bro. You know what I mean? 13 to maybe 15 points a game on average. To me, if you ask me, you know what I mean?
Yes,
so 25.
That's Curtis Samuel owner.
Right. But in his defense, too, though, it is a lot of weapons. And if you do got a healthy Olsen, which in the past has been Cam's dude.
Do you believe what they say during camps and stuff like that? Do you?
Yeah, without a doubt, because
they say he was the MVP of the camp
and
this year.
He was killing them
all through everything.
And
he's looking like the most explosive player.
Is it going to
translate?
Is it going
to say it?
Right. No,
I mean, that's a writer's job
right.
on the field to write about shit.
To hype shit up, especially during this time. You know what I mean?
Curtis Samuel. Look, let's talk about another speedy type receiver that's in the slot this year. Now I'm talking about a dude, one of my DraftKings favorites this week, but everybody might be feeling the same way. Jamison Crowder. Man, did you know Adam Gase, 3 years in Miami, they say the slot caught 272 balls, averaged 90 catches a year from the slot.
That was Jarvis.
In a bad offense. In a bad offense. Jamison Crowder is going to beast this year. I don't want him starting because, see, when I draft players, I'm a wide receiver guy, so I want my wide receivers to be somebody you can't take out your lineup unless they get hurt. But if I had Jamison Crowder on my bench, I'm feeling good about that.
I'm not even gonna fucking lie to you. What fucking team does Jamison Crowder play for? I'm not even gonna lie, bro. What team? I swear to God, the Jets, the Red
From
Sox.
champ to champ right here. He took the whole year off.
Fuck, does Jamison
No,
please don't say
Jets. Hey.
Adam Gase.
Come on. You did say Adam Gase, so I should have known that.
Damn,
You mean to tell me that with Le'Veon Bell there? I'm not trying to argue with you. I mean, I know we rivals. But we got Robbie Anderson. You got Lev Bell.
Robbie Anderson can't even separate.
Quincy and Numa. I feel like Crowder.
On the outside.
My nigga Herndon.
Darnold, I feel like they gonna stretch that thing out.
Did you hear what I just said?
Yeah, but is that Gase or is that
that's
Jarvis Landry?
Offense.
Or is that Jarvis Landry?
Anyone in the slot.
We'll
play
see.
the slot, you get the ball.
I'm more about Adam Gase with the run
how
game.
much Sam Darnold stayed in the middle of the field last year?
But I can argue that part of the reason that Jarvis signed his big contract with the Browns is the production that he got. Without a doubt. And I don't know how Crowder's skills translates or comparable with Jarvis Landry, you know what I mean? But yet, Juice he catching everything.
Yeah, I like Crowder.
And Crowder was nice in Washington. He had a couple great years before he got hurt. And he was a
target monster.
Without a doubt. But I see where you're coming from, though. Without a doubt. I can see the vision.
A young quarterback.
No.
2 places they're going to go.
Le'Veon Bell.
We know Le'Veon going to get the ball. But they're going to go to the middle of the field.
Crowder going to lead the Jets in receptions.
Hey, yes.
I can see that.
Mark my words, y'all.
And I can see Le'Veon
Jamison Crowder leading the Jets in the reception.
I can see that.
If you in an 8-team, 10-team league, which I don't do those, but if you in one of those and Crowder's on you, don't be afraid to pick him up. I'm telling you, the boy is going to do work, and we will.
How many receptions are you predicting?
I mean,
75.
I would say about 70 because that offense might.
I can see that.
We don't know what the offense is going to do, but I think the defense is so good that they going to try to control the game and just get out of there with a W. They're not going to try to put too much on Sam Darnold, even though he's young.
But Sam was over the last 4 weeks of the season last year, this dude Darnold was like the top 5 quarterback over the last 4 weeks, though. He was slanging that bitch. He came back healthy. Fucking Herndon was back. Robbie Anderson, when y'all was playing in the playoffs, Robbie Anderson, I think, was on the on the waiver.
Man, that's because he'll get you 25 and then 2.
No, I understand that, but what I'm saying
nothing
is
to do
that
with that,
Darnold was slanging that motherfucker all across the field for the last 4 weeks.
Right.
Darnold was a great play for the last 4 weeks, and I think that from that last 4 weeks carrying on into this season is going to carry over. So I'm high on the Jets, whether it be Crowder,
I do like the Jets.
whether it be Robbie. Robbie ain't going to be not my 1 or 2 receiver. He's going to be in my flex. That's because he's going to bust for sure.
If he's
Robbie
in
had
your
50
flex, I
receptions.
hope I play you.
50 receptions for Robbie, 15 a clip, 15 yards a catch, and 6 touchdowns.
And what was the yardage? Almost 700?
750.
That's better than I thought.
Yeah, and that's on a down year with a rookie quarterback. I feel like he'll be number 1. I mean, 15 yards of reception got to be up there as most yak in the league.
Hey, you know what? One thing they say about the Jets before we move on, everybody predicts it to be as lethargic and slow as the Dolphins were. But I think they're gonna be a little more fast paced than they say.
Where the difference between the Gase's
Personnel.
Dolphins is the person. If
for
you're damn
sure.
right, it's way more better playmakers over in New York than he had in Tannehill. Forgive me, Tannehill. You know you might do good in Tennessee, but down in the 305, bro, you know everything.
Hey, he was the only one in that division that could beat Brady though.
Hey, the Dolphins
How about
can beat
that?
Brady. I tell you that.
But let me jump into my last one before y'all get to yours. Sammy Watkins. What y'all think about Sammy Watkins breaking out? Because every league I seen him in, he was getting his ADP was pretty late. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9th round right here. But that dude, he was reaching. He didn't know what to do. But like I said, Sammy Watkins. What y'all think?
Man,
Is it all about health? Because he played, played enough games last year.
and he still balled out in some of them games too.
You think he balled out?
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
In some of the games?
Yeah, without a doubt.
I'm a Sammy Watkins guy if he stays healthy, especially with Pat Mahomes your quarterback.
You got a high-powered offense that's
Yeah.
pushing 35 points a game. That's going to be spread out. It's just not going to be one person that's scoring all the points on that offense.
I'm glad you said that too.
I like Sammy Watkins as the third option on the second corner. I mean, I feel like he's eating on the number 2 corner.
Because, man, what they say, his best season was 13 games, over 1,000 yards and 9 TDs. That was back in 2004.
Yeah, that was in Buffalo for
in
sure.
Buffalo. But last year, he averaged almost, 2014, I'm sorry.
14.
Last year, he averaged 6 targets a game, including the playoffs. But he only had 3 games over 100 yards and 3 touchdowns on the year. Now, I put him on my breakout players, but as I was reading more into it, I thought, you know what? I really don't agree with him being a breakout player.
How many games played did he play, though?
He played about 14. Actually, I think he played all games. He might only
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's, if he did play that many games, I think that's a sign going in the right direction for him. Like, for me, it ain't about the production. I mean, obviously it's about the production, but can you stay on the field? That coaches back in the day say, your number one, what they would say, your number one talent is like your availability.
Availability is your best ability.
Yeah.
And the cold thing is, you got to remember, too, transitioning from coming from Buffalo to Kansas City, which is a whole nother scheme. I don't even know who the coach was in Buffalo, but here you got arguably one of the best coaches that ain't never did it. The best that haven't did it. You know that mean, right? You know that saying,
That's
right?
what I call myself, man.
And
The best that never did
facts.
it. Go ahead.
And that's what Andy Reid is, because Andy Reid has done it for decades. He's then put up numbers and then got a lot of people.
So why gotta be Jim Kelly? Why I can't be Andy Reid? I'm going with Andy Reid. I might change my
Jim
team.
Kelly looked better.
This number 2. Remember
Hey, the meme king put my head on Jim Kelly, man. That's what they call him.
Hey, shout out to Jim Kelly too.
I lost
bro.
2 championships in 1 year last year, man.
Hey, this nigga number 2. Remember Austin Powers, Dr. Evil's right hand man? That's
Hey, but I tell you
number
this,
2.
I'm coming back strong this year. Watch.
Number 2 caught on fire, right? He was down there. He caught it on fire in the movie.
Well, let's jump.
But dumpster fire.
Let's jump to the next
That's
person.
good. But Sammy, I feel you though, bro. I got you on one of my teams. I think.
But like, hey,
you
but look,
gonna handle your business, bro.
Another thing, like you said with Sammy, I agree. Number 3 option in a high power offense. He's
Facts.
probably not going to somebody that you want to start every game. He's just somebody you're gonna throw in for sure.
He's matchup based. That's what we going. To me, I think he's matchup based.
I think he's flip a coin.
I honestly, I think
he's gonna hit that week.
I think he scores this week against Jacksonville though.
I ain't mad at you.
I think Rams are gonna be on Tyreek. Last time we seen him, it actually kind of scared me a little bit. He kind of shut down Tyreek low key, jamming him at the line last time they played. I think that Sammy can eat on Bouye a little bit, and when they take away Tyreek and maybe Casey up the middle.
So let's get into the next one that I know that you put out there. We're gonna jump to actually let's keep it at wide receivers and let's go Cortland Sutton. Now Sutton, I like Sutton. I drafted him last year.
You did.
He's a dude that I held on to and had big. Hopefully, as a rookie, he did his thing. But I mean, what you think about Sutton this year? That it was your guy.
Sutton, my guy. I got Sutton late. Mainly just I like the Broncos as a whole. I think the Broncos one of my sleeper teams. I think they might sneak into the All.
Defense nasty.
They got a great that D line is stupid. They still got Chris Harris over there locking stuff down. They added some safety.
They weren't letting nobody run on them.
Can't run on. I know
like
when the Niners played, Jimmy was shook. I mean, you go to Denver. I've been at Mile High, and that's one of the louder stadiums I've been to. And they got Flacco, and you know how Flacco likes his big receivers. Flacco was almost unstoppable. Flacco was on his way last year before he got hurt to one of his best statistical seasons. And they were unstoppable in the red zone last year. And that's just a red zone target. He's 6'4", 220, something stupid. Like, I think Cortland Sutton can easily have 10 touchdowns this year.
But I think Flacco spreads it a lot, though. Has he really just had a number one? What was the last one you could think of? Bolden.
Yeah, Bolden. That's what
Has he really just
a
had?
Bolden type. Crabtree.
But I think Emmanuel Sanders would fit more the Bolden type. Slide, he's catching a lot of passing. And then did you see him in preseason?
Sanders looked good, and I think that helps. And that helps Cortland Sutton.
Flacco loves that
If
middle.
Sanders wasn't there, I wouldn't be as high on Sutton.
Noah Fant, you know what I mean? Like, they got a lot of players that's going to beat that middle up. So I don't know how I feel about Sutton. You know one thing I don't like about Sutton? The dude can't run routes like that.
He's not the best route runner, but he's a guy on the outside that he's one of them guys that he looks like he's not open, but he is because of the big frame he got. He can just box
like
out and play basketball. Yeah, a Galladay, you know what I'm saying? A Bolden, like you said, a Crabtree, a guy that you're going to throw up and he's going to go up at his highest point and get it.
What you think about Sutton, Guccini? Offense you want to stay away from?
No. I would draft a couple of Denver Bronco players, but I mean, it just depends on where I'm drafting him and what I'm expecting out of him. If I went running back heavy, tight end, and maybe one receiver, then yeah. So in my 8th round, I would definitely go grab him, and I think I get some production out of him. But I'm just not banking for him to carry me to where I need to be. You know what I mean?
No, he's not gonna carry. He's a flex play every now and then.
Hey, look though. See the champ. It looks like he's gonna be banking on him at one point or another because my guy got Pollard. We know Zeke is back. He got Will Fuller. Is Will Fuller gonna stay healthy? We're gonna talk about him a little bit. So basically, a lot of the year you're gonna be banking on Will Fuller and Cortland Sutton.
Don't sleep on Albert Wilson, the number 1 in Miami now.
That's how
with Fitzmagic, you know Fitzmagic. Right. You talking about slot guys in the middle? Who was we just talking about?
Hey, we was just at the draft. You was just at the draft telling somebody that you don't want no one from Cincy and the Dolphins. But here you go talking about Albert Wilson.
Hey, you gotta throw it to somebody, right? They're gonna be down.
This is what they do in the chat. In the league chat, this is what these dudes do, bro.
From champ to chump. I take being a champ and going to chump. But, you know, it's going to be a long season for my guy over here.
A couple of nights on Sunday throughout the year.
You know, in the Frisco game, I seen Sutton, him and Hamilton, they did their thing. I seen a lot of the last season game. You know what I mean? I seen Sutton do his thing, bro. I think he do got a lot of potential. It's just that from year 1 to year 2, I don't think it's going to be a whole lot of production from. You know what I mean? I think it can. It's going to be not a hell of a significant jump, but I think it will be some type of improvement. You know what I mean? Because it's still like how he was saying, other weapons around there. But yet, if he do get a 10 touchdown season and only have 50 50 receptions and maybe 500 yards, nigga, 10 TDs. You can't beat that because that's damn near one a game, and it's 16 games. Yeah. So you know what I mean. And I don't know how everybody play in their league settings, but what we get 6 points per touchdown with a couple receptions. That's almost 10 points per game, right, and we ain't even talking about the yardage. So I do see the potential. Just me having him somebody that I wanted to target this year. He wasn't on my board, and that's not no knock on him or nothing like that. But just to me, no, he wasn't no target on my board.
So for me, I'm looking at the receivers in week 9 or round 9. Crowder, Pettis,
just
Pitts,
say 8, 7, 8, 9.
Hardman, Allison, Williams. Watch. I think I'm taking Sutton over every receiver in that round.
That's because you didn't know what team Crowder was on. What about Pettis?
Yeah. I love Pettis. That's my guy. I'm a Niner fan. I love Pettis, but he's hit or miss right now. He might be
Michael Gallup. Breakout.
I like the Cowboys. I hate the Cowboys.
I hate the Cowboys.
They're going to be good this year.
That's because we all Niner fans. But coming from this fantasy shit, it's Cowboys, especially since old boy signed late last night, early today. All them dudes value them. Went up on my mouth.
Amari Cooper will not stay healthy. Michael Gallup will be the number 1 receiver this year. Mark my word.
Are you gonna work harder to try and get paid more?
Hey, when your foot don't work, when your feet don't work, hey, what choice do you got?
You gotta make it work because you want to get paid. We didn't see one dude get 90 million. We just seen golf get paid 110 guaranteed. What you think they finna give that?
Hey, fuck all that, man. What they say? Slow feet don't eat.
Yeah, you're right.
The boy's feet is on fire right now.
I don't know, fella.
Well, look, let's jump into another one, man. We go. Let's jump into running backs right quick. Let's go with one of the ones you like, Matt Breida. Matt Breida. Damn. We ain't gonna be biased Niner fans.
Breida.
What round Breida go?
Man, 9, 8, 10. 10.
I can deep dive for a minute on my guy right here, and just a little side note, I'm a Niner fan to the heart. You know what I mean? We grew up on this shit since the 80s. You see the Grays, just to give a little backstory. But bring it back to present day. This dude Breida, my boy hit for 850. Almost
814 to be exact.
814 to be exact, with 5 TDs, and I think he was almost at like 5 yards per carry.
5.3.
On a bum ass ankle though, you know what I mean?
Many injuries.
27 catches.
Many injuries. 27 catches with like 300 yards on the ground. How many receiving yards does it say? How many receiving? 300 yards? 220 something?
It was about 2 something.
Man, that's what I'm saying. So he brought to the table almost 1,100 total yards with like 6 TDs on a bum ass ankle that you're getting. Well, I got him in the 9th or 10th round, bro.
Who was the other running backs? Who were the other running backs when he was playing last year?
Jeff Wilson.
Mozart
got hurt. Fucking McKinnon didn't even play not one down in the. You know what I mean?
So if he had 153 attempts last year, 814 yards.
How many yards per carry?
5.3 yards per carry, 27 catches, with no running backs behind him, and now he got Tevin Coleman. There's no way he gets 814 yards this year.
Now, I think he, not to cut you off, but now he got weapons on the outside. Who was named a receiver last year on the Niners?
But I mean,
name a capable receiver. Name a receiver.
But we're talking about production. He has Tevin Coleman there with him.
But now he don't have 8, 9 guys in the box because you got Pettis.
But he's sharing a backfield.
He shared a backfield last year.
We're talking about stats though.
How many
814 yards. If he's sharing the backfield, let's say it goes down to 600. Coleman get 500.
500 what?
Breida and Coleman, they splitting carries 12. One get 10, one get 12. Bro, there's no way he's sustaining that unless one of them get hurt.
It's not.
150. He got 150 carries. You're going to have 400
Did
carries.
they sign Tevin Coleman to sit behind Breida the whole year?
Did they draft Tevin Coleman after they had Devontae Freeman, and what did they do, bro?
Man.
You see what Shanahan's doing with 2 backs? This is a 2 backs.
How can somebody sustain when they're splitting the backfield?
He split last year. He got 150.
I just asked y'all who was the running backs and they were
But they
trash.
got carries though.
Hey, what's 16 times 50?
Man.
So if he get 50 yards per game,
He averaged 60 yards a game last year.
Okay, so you don't think he can get 60 yards on 12 attempts at 5 yards per carry?
It's my
Do
thing.
the math, bro.
It's my thing.
Come on, fella.
During the season,
You got to come better than that, though, bro.
it's gonna be
On everything.
400 carries throughout the year.
With two running backs.
Breida gonna get
But
half of
look
them.
though,
Facts.
but when did Breida start getting the most carries? At the beginning?
I don't know.
So
I
it was
just
the
know
middle?
he's in and out of the game.
He only had a
But then he was on a
playing
bum ass
hurt.
ankle, though, bro. He wasn't the only one hurt in the back.
He
I
was
like
limited
Breida,
every-
right?
I
I like Breida.
But it was a rotation of running backs last year. It wasn't one set running back. You can go look at what Mozart did in the Oakland game, man. He was killing, bro. You can go look at Jeff Wilson in the Seattle game, and he was killing. It was a rotation of running backs.
Breida will be a league winner if Tevin Coleman get hurt.
Breida's gonna start.
He is starting.
Breida gonna
He's
start.
on the
The depth chart,
starting.
yeah, I don't know if actually Coleman still might start, but it's gonna be
To
50-50.
me, and the cool thing is it don't matter who start because Coleman ate while Freeman was the lead back and he was putting up RB1 numbers, and Coleman was still a flex start.
So you asked me something the other day on the phone, right? I was talking shit to him because he drafted Coleman and Breida, and I told him he's gonna have to flip a coin.
And them niggas
to
didn't
see
even ask
who
me
to
about
play.
how I felt about my
Hey,
team
hey.
on my mama, but I'm gonna let them
Hey.
niggas do that on
I
their
told
own.
him he gonna have to flip a coin
Yeah.
to see what he do, right?
That's tough. That's gonna be tough.
So when you say Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman were both killing, right? You say that, right?
Right.
But do you think the person that had him on the same team, or they was on different teams?
But look though, it's a marathon and it's not a sprint. And one of these niggas can go at any point in given time right now, bro, and I'll still be able to have me somebody to throw in. That's
Which
what
one
I'm
last trade you even made in AOB?
Talk to
When's
me,
the
bro.
last trade you even made in AOB?
I think
You don't
last
even trade.
one, I think
I
it was
do
to me.
trade. It's just
I
that
think
I'm
it
not
was
trying
to
to
me.
give a nigga away for free. These niggas be trying to strong arm and
Hey, look, matter of fact, they call me the Swiv, man. That's my name.
Stop
Hey,
the Swift.
they had a campaign against me when I had a nice team. Said, don't trade him a running back. Stop the Swiv.
Stop
Because
the
they know
Swiv.
I'm a problem.
Is it
Just
and I'm a finesse.
to the new
somebody.
cats in the league that ain't gamed up, they part of the shook crew.
Yeah,
They
that's
might-
what it is.
He like to give 2-for-1s or 3-for-2s, and then you see, and he like, you might just jump on it real quick.
Man,
You
I'm a
get an extra
trendsetter,
player.
man. Hey, ever since then, people have been trying to get 2-for-1s and 3-for-2s, man. You know what I mean? But look, what's your prediction? Just give me what's your prediction on Breida and Coleman in
on both of them.
yardage wise.
They eating both of them.
I could see both of them easily at 800 yards. We were a top 10 rushing offense. If both of them dudes stay healthy, I could see both of them eclipsing 750, 100 yards.
Shanahan's stupid with
Man,
that.
I'm telling you, bro.
He run
Man,
anybody.
he
I can be
schemes
back
these
there.
boys up to where one cut, you're gone, bro.
Yeah.
And if he was getting 5 yards per carry on a bum ass ankle, and this guy is ready right now, and it's another year in the system, it's go time, bro.
And don't sleep on them both being in the game at the same time. Don't
No,
sleep
without
on
a doubt.
Coleman being in
Without a
the
doubt.
backfield and Breida being in the slot,
Without a doubt.
swap, whatever. They both gonna catch. Coleman gonna catch 40-50 balls.
Facts.
And Breida probably gonna catch another 30-40 too. So
Facts.
So if you starting them both, if they on
If
two
I
separate
both
teams.
have- they
Not
both-
if you got both,
they
but
both should
in the
start.
league they both should be
Yeah.
starting.
If I had one on one team and you had one on another team, you could start both of them. You were able to do that with Coleman and
so
Freeman.
I think they both flex plays this week.
Without a
They
doubt,
both
without a
flex.
doubt. But one of them, I picked up one of them because I know they both gonna eat. And nigga, when we get to getting down to the stretch of the marathon, somebody gonna get thirsty for one of these running backs. And then one of these niggas is, or both of they still healthy, I'm gonna be able to put my ski mask on or even rob a nigga without no ski mask for a trade, bro. I swear to you. I know what I'm talking about, bro.
Man,
We don't promote violence. We don't promote
Yeah, we talking
none of
about-
it, but that's what it is. That's what it is. You know what I mean?
okay, so look, let's jump into somebody else right quick. Somebody obviously everybody loves him, but I love him more than a lot of people, and that's Austin Eckler. Austin Eckler, drafted late. In every league, he was going late.
Yeah, I wanted him. Actually, I feel like he went long.
What did you draft him as? What do you see him as your team?
If you wide receiver, tight end, quarterback, and you got one good running back, and you want, I would love for him to be my second running back.
So, your second running back.
My second.
Do
Maybe.
you have him on the over there?
I had him in the league, but I traded him for Latavius Murray because I got Kamara.
The season ain't started yet.
I mean, it was strategic. It was strategic.
I need
But
to
Austin
see a
Eckler,
game first.
a lot of one reason I like him a lot is because last year, let's see, 14 games played, he had 554 rushing yards, 3 TDs. Obviously, Melvin Gordon there. 39 receptions, 404 yards, 3 TDs. Catching.
So that was close to a stat
Total
combined. That's what I want to know. Is the combined yards.
I like Eckler.
But this what I love the most about his situation. Melvin Gordon had 50 receptions last year, so there's 50 receptions left on the table.
But
for Eckler and Jackson.
He's not Melvin Gordon. But I feel you.
Well, we know he's not Melvin Gordon, but that means they're gonna be passing a lot more. I feel like. Because they don't have that Melvin Gordon to just, unless Justin Jackson is something
that's what I was gonna say. I think
what
Jackson might be the guy. I like Eckler, but I look at Eckler like I like Cohen. I don't want them being my bell horse. I don't want them being my guy.
But what about your second running back when you got studs at every other position?
A little scat back, or you mean on the
weakest?
fantasy team?
You had Cohen last year.
Yeah, I had
What did he do
Cohen.
for you?
Cohen was. What would you say about who he's a 25 guy maybe, or he could be an 8.
You know how many
Type
fantasy points he averaged last year? We could just jump into Cohen right now because that's
Just continue.
Okay, we'll go back to
Eckler.
Cohen. You said Eckler. What you think?
If you went pass catcher heavy, whether it be, two receivers, a tight end, or 3 receivers and a tight end, and you was able to get him in the 5th round, as long as you're not expecting him to get you them 18 to 20 points consistently on the week, and you think that you're so strong at your wide receivers and your flex and your tight end, and you're only expecting this boy to get you 10 to 12 points, you damn right. Because if I'm getting, elite numbers from them other positions that I went heavy on, and that boy only getting me, like I said, 10 to 12, 13, 14, whatever it may be, you damn right, I'm getting, without a doubt, 6th round. Facts.
50 receptions available though, and he caught.
Yeah,
He ain't not gonna get all 50 of the receptions though.
But even if he get 25, he's still almost at 70 receptions.
Yeah, that's James White numbers. That's James White numbers.
So we just talked about Breida or Eckler.
I'm going
I'm
Breida.
taking
I'm
Eckler.
taking
I'm
Breida.
going Breida just because I trust.
With no Melvin
I
Gordon,
see
I'm
him.
taking
And then what
Eckler.
he does on the ground though.
Exactly.
I don't know.
I haven't seen Eckler
Run through the tackles
and
like that.
carry the full load.
Or play injured like
Facts,
Breida does.
facts,
Breida down there play with a broken leg.
Without a doubt.
So now
Breida
we
was
grabbing.
limited
So
every
now we
week.
grabbing players that play through injuries.
Yes.
I mean,
Hopkins
I seen him do it though, bro.
I saw Hopkins play through. Hell, was limited all week until Friday. Still put up his numbers.
Yeah, Hopkins did that.
I want a
last
dog.
year.
Hell yeah, I want somebody
Without a
playing
doubt.
through injuries.
No, I agree with that. And like I said, I watch all of the 49er games, you know what I mean? And I've seen
Thanks.
what this boy did last year. And if this boy is healthy, I'm telling you, I think he's bound for.
I don't think Breida was healthy all year.
That's what I'm saying. So
All year.
if he's healthy this year, I think the potential is there, bro.
And he outperformed Eckler
Man,
last year
I don't know.
on a worse team.
right,
With
facts.
Melvin Gordon though.
Right.
We
I
just
mean,
said
he was in
didn't
the
have no
shared
running back
role.
behind him.
They
He
both
was
were in
in-
shared
he was in
roles.
the
But
shared
to
role.
have almost 900 yards from scrimmage and 6 TDs with Melvin Gordon there, and now Melvin
On a
Gordon
better offense with other
And
players
now
around
Melvin
him.
You got
Gordon's
Keenan
not
Allen
there.
out there. You got Gordon, Keenan Allen. Henry didn't play, but Mike Williams.
Man,
They got guys that
no,
take attention.
I
hear
ever
where
since
you're
Danny
coming from.
Woodhead, they've been throwing it Sproles. They've been
But this is the
those
thing for me.
pass catching running backs eating.
This is
it all.
another thing, though. No one's game planning for Eckler. Everybody game planned for Breida last year, I'm sure. On the Niners, who you gonna game?
Nobody was game
Kittle
planning
and
for
Breida.
two, and
Kittle and Breida.
they
gonna
were
game
just
plan
going
for
out
those
there to
guys.
play. Let them play.
But let me
Get
tell
out
you,
of
no,
here.
to say you can't
Don't
say that
injure
because you can't say that because the Niners only lost like 5 games with
Facts.
7 points or less,
Facts.
and we had 4 wins. So if we only lost by 7 points in 5 games, do you think
We was
they was
winning
putting
games.
up numbers, bro?
Yes.
Real talk.
Mullins was getting
All that
Facts, bro.
tells me is that the teams took the Niners lightly. The Niners came to play. As far as game plan, let's get him and get on the bus, y'all.
There you go.
But look, since we just said Cohen, let's jump into Cohen there right quick, man. You said Cohen will get you 25 and 5. The boy averaged 14.8 fantasy points per game last year.
PPR, right?
PPR.
Yeah. I feel like I had him last year. I feel like I didn't start him in the ship.
And I drafted him last year and traded him to one of the fellas in the league. So
I mean,
Allen Robinson.
For Allen Robinson.
And that's
I'm a year
how
behind Allen Robinson.
And he got traded again. So Cohen got traded. Cohen's that raw. He got traded 3 times.
Facts. I mean, people weren't patient. 5.7 targets a game, 4.4 catches per game, 725 receiving yards,
And about
7.6 yards after catch.
And how many yards on the ground?
8
About 500.
TDs, rushing and passing.
How many yards on the ground did he have? About 400.
About 400.
Yeah.
About 400.
And where'd you get him?
That's a beast. I got him in. I might have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 round, but I got him because I had Julio, Mike Evans, Diggs, Melvin Gordon, Josh Jacobs. He was the best running back on the board at that time.
At what round?
7.
That's
Niggas was slipping. Who the fuck did I pick in the 7th
Miles
round?
Sanders went right before him. I was gonna pick
Oh, I
Miles
got my
Sanders
quarterback.
and Tariq Cohen.
I'm fucking.
He's gonna be my starting running back because I'm deep at other positions. So all I need him for me in my head, give me that 12 to 15 a game, and I'm loving that.
So you
said that
so
about
I
Eckler.
was just about to say, you cool with it? You cool with it from Cohen, but not Breida.
It depends
It's the
on the
same
team.
situation.
No, my thing about Breida is that him and Coleman are both good backs, and I feel like they're gonna keep them fresh. I'm hoping our Niners take the push this year. And they're not just going to run one running back to the ground. When I play fantasy, I want somebody that's getting used a lot.
That ain't
I think, bro, they got one of the toughest schedules. They got a first place schedule this year.
Yeah, but they're not.
They
I don't think Cohen's getting more touches than
Their
Breida.
defense, Chicago's defense is great, but they're going to have a lot more trouble than people think this year.
I think Breida.
There's going to be people coming out trying to get on them.
They're not sneaking up on anybody.
I think
Niggas
I
is
think
one
they
and
might
done in the
use-
playoffs,
I
though,
think
bro.
from a field goal kick. Come on.
I mean, but still,
Hey,
though.
I think Cohen might not do as much as he did, but like I said, if you're strong at other positions and he's your second or third running back, I'm fine with that. Just like I'm with him and Eckler.
Yeah, so
in a
Rebecca
PPR
is
league.
my-
In a
Breida is
PPR
my
league.
4th running back.
Who doesn't play PPR these days, by the way? I don't know. Who
Or at
does.
least half.
Get out
You
the-
know what
get
I
out
mean?
the
At
Stone
least
Age.
half.
Get
but,
out
you
the
know.
Stone Age.
Real
You know
tough.
what I mean? So,
Yeah, but no, I'm high on Cohen my damn self. You know.
So you high on coke or something?
Yeah, nah, I don't. And we don't fuck with the Tony around here. We drug free. You know, I might hit the
Yeah,
trio
facts.
every now and then. But, you know what I mean? Back to the thing, though, is that I'm definitely high on Cohen. You know what I mean? I think him and Montgomery is definitely going to have that 1-2 punch that's, like, fucking out of this world. The way that Nagy had Hunt his rookie year, I can see them putting that boy Cohen out wide somewhere in the slot and having Montgomery on the field. And I think the way that I seen Trubisky and all types of motions and the end around all time, man, I swear to you, I think that boy Cohen. Well, I'm high on Montgomery anyways because I got him on my team, but I think
Cohen's a chess piece.
That's exactly what he is, bro.
a chess piece,
That's what he
depending
is.
on how your team is set up.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
you know, like I said,
Right.
PPR, I'm loving Cohen.
Yeah.
Let's get to another person that I think you pointed out, Peyton Barber.
Oh man, Peyton Barber, bro. I think Ronald Jones. He had all the opportunity to go ahead and try and lock that starting roll up and wasn't able to do it. And with Peyton Barber being on a last place team and still walking away with damn near 800 yards on the ground with a few TDs, and then bringing in Bruce Arians, which is an offensive guru. I think that Peyton Barber, him being the OG there, he gonna control that backfield, and he gonna do the same production that he did last year, if not better. And he got in this league, he got took in the 13th round. You give me what he gave me last year in the 13th round, you damn right I could throw him in there when I need to.
Bye week, something like that. Now, I
Facts.
think he hit it right on the head.
Facts.
I'm not the biggest Peyton Barber fan, but I'm a huge Bruce Arians fan, so I think that's going to be the best thing for them kids over there. Ronald Jones and Peyton Barber, it's going to be good for them. So.
I think they need to trade for Melvin Gordon.
I hear you.
Hey, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to say this about Barber, right? I don't know how to pronounce his name. I apologize. But Dair Agumbawali, best running back on that roster in Tampa Bay. Look out for him. Ogunbowale is how you pronounce his name. Deep sleeper. I think we won't even be talking about Peyton Barber come mid-season.
I ain't mad at you,
Honestly.
but
My thing is for where he went in the 13th round.
Good.
If he gives me what he gave me last year, that's a fucking steal.
Oh, so you on your last year bias?
No, I'm just saying. I mean, the production. There's times where you give me this production last year and it might drop off. I just don't see that it's dropping off because he's gonna get the same amount of value. Because I don't see, I haven't seen anything out of Ronald Jones that's coming to take this job from this dude. From what I done heard in the offseason, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. And the boy that you just mentioned, no disrespect to you, bro. I ain't never heard of you. And I got to go do my homework. I damn sure will go do it. But yet, I don't know where he's.
I don't know how to say your name.
Shout out to you, big bro. But yeah,
Deep sleeper.
Add
me if you want to know his name.
Yeah, facts. I'm gonna go do my homework on you. But yet, I just think with this dude, he done did it for 2 years already. I think that's what he gonna do. And like I said, referring back to this board, at the 13th round, this boy, if he gives me the same shit that he gave me last year or even better in the 13th, man, it's a steal, bro.
Hey, if you got to play Peyton Barber throughout the year, I hope I play you.
13th round, bro. The 13th round.
Peyton Barber.
Look whose team
He will be dropped by week 5.
If that's what it, that's what it is. But look, the guy that drafted Barber, which is the Bamish, got David Johnson, Fournette. He got Devin Singletary, which might be a league winner. You know what I mean? Barber might not get on the field, but if he gives me that production he gave me last year, and if I have to throw him in at any point, yes, I'm going to take him. Oh my God. Real talk.
I got Wilson that round. I like that round. 13th round.
I ain't mad at you.
Can we
took my kicker, Bucker.
Can we switch it up a little bit? I want to get into one of my favorite positions because, with the tight end position, obviously you got the big three and everybody else is a toss-up, So let's get into some late round tight ends that y'all love. Somebody give me one. You want me to start off?
Sure, it don't matter what you want to do.
Let's start off with Austin Hooper.
Hoopers.
Daylock kid.
Quarterback.
Cali kid.
Quarterback can put up almost 5,000 yards in 2 out of the last 3 years.
Which is my number one quarterback.
Matt
over
Ryan.
this boy's real talk. Facts.
Hey, I'm going to say
Facts.
this about Austin Hooper. Actually, I want to get y'all take on Hooper first. What you think?
I fuck with Hooper. Hooper's a good kid. I actually know the kid. He's ready to get better. And so with that offense, Matt Ryan, I mean, it's gonna be tough. I wouldn't want him as a starter for the tight end on my team. I would like to have another guy, but it's not because of talent. It's only so many balls.
But what players would you rather have as a starter, though? Obviously the big three, but
my guy. I mean, we can have JD talk about Hooper right now. I got my own tight end that I would like to have. That's kind of a sleeper on the
In the
board.
10th round,
Hooper is a great in the 10th round.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Hooper is a great pick, bro. I think Matt Ryan sees the potential in the dude. You know what I mean? Hooper had some great games last year, without a doubt. I think.
A lot of duds, though.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. I mean, but when you got Calvin and Julio, and without a doubt.
That's the thing. It's not a talent thing. It's just. It's a lot of mouths.
It's a lot. It is, but I definitely see him getting you them boomer bust games. Though there's going to be some game, but that's a lot with a lot of these tight ends. Though it's the big three is the only ones that's probably going to give you a consistent 15, 16 points, and then give you maybe some 30, 40 point games without a doubt. But Hooper, there's been some games where he even had 20, 25 points.
He had them last year.
If I don't got the big three, my goal for streaming tight ends is I want a guy that's going to give me about 10, 11, You know what I mean? No less than 8.
Yeah.
But that's like,
That's
you're
hard.
not going to play the team with the big 3 every week.
Every week, right?
You just
You know
got
what
to
I mean?
outscore in your position.
You
But
just
no,
got to get a decent score in that position. But let me tell you something I like about Hooper a lot. Every year, his catches have went up 20 to 30 catches a year. Targets, 49 catches, 71 targets, 88 receptions, 65 receptions, 88 targets.
That ain't
That
bad.
went up 20.
How many
I
yards
didn't
was it that
realize he had
season?
that many.
That 65 catch season, how many yards did he
I
have?
think his best yards, man, I had to look maybe like 500, 600.
That ain't bad. That's average. Your average tight ends is getting 500 yards, 600 yards with like 5, 6 TDs.
I like
And if
Cooper.
no, without a doubt. I mean, and that's what you can expect from anyone outside of the big 3.
But for me, he's a better real life player than fantasy player.
No, without a doubt. I agree with that. I mean, that's just like all the fucking tight ends, though. I mean, besides GK, George Kittle breaking out last year, all we was going into the season drafting is Kelsey and Ertz. And you took Kelsey in the third last year, and Gronk, exactly. You got Kelsey in the third last year, Cuzzo?
Third.
And now look where he's...
No, I take that back. I got him in the 4th because I got Joe Mixon in the 3rd.
Okay, now look and see the season that he had. It shot him all the way up into the end of the first. You know what I mean? The beginning of the second. You know what I mean? And so you're not going to get that type of consistency from outside of the top. We don't even know if George Kittle's going to do what we can continue to consider as one of the top 3, which I think he will, but we don't know that because he only done it for one season. You know what I mean? So you know,
5,
yeah, without a doubt, without a facts.
That's
The
the
GKO.
I'm going to tell you a tight end that I love way more than Hooper. Delaney Walker.
OG.
That boy was going in
Shout
the
out to
10th.
bro.
Delaney Walker was going from the 10th to the 12th round.
Yeah.
I love Delaney. That's my
OG.
guy from the Niners when he was rocking with Vernon. But that was like 15 years ago.
Man.
And
So
that's
he
my
lost it.
dog. That's my dude.
So he's done?
But I don't want anybody older than me
Yeah.
on my fantasy team.
Bro,
I'm serious.
since 2014,
I had him
with
last
Tennessee,
year. No, 2 years ago.
since 2004,
Since
since 2004 with Tennessee, he's
hell.
had 890 yards, 63 catches, 94 catches, 1,088 yards,
steady.
94 catches.
94 catches,
When?
1,088
When?
yards.
What year?
What year?
Hold on, 65
That's the
catches,
disclaimer right
I'm
there.
gonna show you. 65 catches, 800 yards, 74 receptions, 870 yards. And we talking about TDs, 4, 6, 7, 3.
Oh, yeah.
Going in the 10th to
Delaney's
12th round.
Delaney is
And
probably
you don't want him
the
because he old?
most underrated tight end probably these
Man.
last 5 to 6, 7 years.
Man.
But do I want him as my number 1? No. But will I take him? Yes.
You got Vance McDonald as your number 1, but
Vance
you won't take
McDonald's-
Delaney?
Vance McDonald is a big play waiting to happen if he stays on the field. But Delaney, because I said I liked it earlier, Delaney fight through injuries and he gonna play.
2015, 94 receptions, 1,088 yards.
It's 4 whole
6
years ago.
touchdowns.
It was 4 whole years. Niggas graduated
He
high
just
school.
had 802.
Niggas went from freshman out of high school.
Bro, he had 890. Did you hear me? 890. This is 4 years in a row.
Show me the last.
1,000.
Do you know?
800. 807. Yeah, he got hurt last year.
So the year
What's the year
before
before?
last year, what was the year?
807 yards, 74 receptions.
3 touchdowns. No, he's steady. Don't get me wrong. Don't get
Great.
me wrong. All
That
right,
is beautiful.
my guy,
Beautiful.
Eric Ebron, and I know people gonna sleep. He fell to what, that 8th round?
You want him?
Because yeah, I mean, we're gonna talk to you. We're gonna
Bring
get into the
Ebron is
offense.
on the deck for that.
We gonna step in. Last year, I know they had Andrew Luck, 66 receptions, 750, 11 at a
13
clip,
TDs.
13 TDs.
Wow, bro.
But
And
everybody will
Brown.
say with Andrew Luck. So we'll go back and look at Brissett when he started in 2017.
He was going to Doyle.
Doyle was a Pro Bowler, 80 receptions, 4 touchdowns.
Man.
And
On a way worse offense.
way
My bad,
worse
bro.
offense. The offensive line improved, probably one of
Facts.
the top 3 offensive lines in the
Facts.
league. And Brissett ain't no slouch. When we bring up the quarterbacks, he's gonna be another underrated player of mine that
Facts.
we could target also. But obviously, Ebron a better player, bigger, stronger, faster than Doyle. Ebron's still up there to me.
With other weapons though, they bring in Funches. You draft Paris Campbell. You're not. It's gonna be. You got Ty. It's gonna be a lot of one-on-ones to where he can win that matchup with that big 6'5", 6'6".
Especially in the red zone.
Oh,
line him up outside. Throw him the oop.
Yeah.
I see another.
How many games did Doyle play last year?
He only played like 3 games or something. He was on the injured reserve for a long time.
He didn't play much.
So when he came back, Ebron went down a little bit.
He went down a little bit.
He's not gonna get 13 touchdowns.
No, I understand that.
He's not gonna get 13. But what we was just hyped off of Delaney's 3 last year.
Delaney's the only tight end in town. Doyle's still there. Last I checked.
Oh, your boy Jonnu?
They run.
Jonnu's pretty nice though.
They run a lot of 11 personnel.
Shout out Jonnu, bro.
They run a lot of 2 tight end sets.
Jonnu Smith. I played in one game last year,
and he won that game
over
Jonnu. I had
to buy, and I was down like 20-something points.
I remember that.
And I put Jonnu in.
Facts.
And my opponent BJ, shout out to BJ, was sick. Jonnu.
That was when
that was when Jonnu got one.
That was
might have been 20.
That was like an 80-yard catch.
He got one catch and he was gone.
First drive
game
over.
over.
Monday night.
Game over. I think I only did like 12
It
points.
was Thursday night. One of those fast.
I
got another tight end story. Shout out to Jalen Samuel, who had the tight end flexed on him.
Tight end running back. That was fucked up.
They took it off. I think maybe the week that I didn't need it anymore. I needed it for that 1 week because I had Gronk who's hurt, and I had OJ Howard who got hurt. And I think even though I had Mahomes and all them dudes, like I needed Samuel. I needed all them points he gave me like week 15 of the season, something like that.
Not to get off topic, and I know this dude's not maybe on one of our lists, but just throw something out there about OJ Howard.
Beast.
Overrated.
Now with Jameis,
No, I ain't gonna say overrated. Too many weapons.
With Jameis loves OJ Howard. If
Too
it was
many
Fitz,
weapons
then I go with Brait. That was how it was.
Right.
Fitz was Brait. Jameis was Howard.
So I think he was going fifth or sixth round.
Fifth, maybe fifth tight end off the board.
Something like
I liked
that.
him more than Ingram. He was probably my 4th.
Uh-huh.
Up there with Ebron.
Yeah. So give me another tight end. Can I
my guy's Herndon.
Herndon
was was Herndon on my? I think Herndon might have been on my breakout. Or no. But Herndon was on my shit.
Tight ends to talk about.
Herndon was on my shit though, right?
Oh, yeah, he gonna give us.
So my boy Herndon only played 12 games last year. He's suspended for 4, so he's only gonna play 12 games, barring no injury. But this boy posted 60 catches last? What my boy
Who's this again?
Chris Herndon.
Oh yeah.
My boy, he caught 39. He caught 39 receptions, 502 yards with 4 TDs in 12 games. And to me, when you got the young quarterback in Darnold, you got your outside shit. I think that boy really can control them fucking hash one, man. I'm telling you, I think he really can do a little bit more damage, even though he's still gonna miss another 4 games. But I really think that he can come back with that same sample size though, bro, and do his thing, bro. I like Herndon, man, this year.
I like Herndon.
I'm mad at Yahoo though that I can't put my suspended players in the IR though.
Yeah,
y'all need to change that, bro. Shout out to
Especially
Yahoo.
if you can put a holdout player on there, but you can't.
We fuck with Yahoo. That's what we play on. We play on Yahoo. That's it.
Hey, Champ just said it's not that many tight ends, right? But I'm gonna give you somebody I would love. T.J. Hawkinson. T.J. Hawkinson.
First round.
Come on, man. Y'all gonna pick a quarterback?
I think he went like 8.
He went number 8.
Wow.
That's an Iowa kid, right?
Wow, yeah.
Iowa.
That's where Kittle came from. Like that's tight end you right there.
This is why I love Hawkinson more than 3 reasons. He could block, he could run routes and catch, put them together, and he's on a team that drafted him number 8 overall, and he's with the coach who thinks he's baby Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
Who did Bill Belichick build his team around? Gronk and running the ball.
Yeah.
What is Detroit trying to do? Run the ball.
It's not your dad's
and
line.
they just grab
grab
their tight end. Hawkinson is a big sleeper. I have him on 2 of my teams this year, and I'm hoping that, in this league I got Evan Ingram. I kind of think Hawkinson gonna end up taking Ingram's spot. Just me personally.
You got Hawkinson?
like I said, he could block. His last year at Iowa, he had 760 yards, 6 TDs.
Yeah.
And he could block. And he could run routes. Hey,
my argument is just
T.J. Hockenson. Know about him.
to push for what though? What can you project him?
Man, I think he might start off. I think he might start off fast because nobody's expecting him. But I mean, I would have to look at the Lions. I don't know what they last Ebron, what he did. Nothing really, right?
He was
probably
dropping stuff. It was tight ends.
But Matt Patricia wasn't there either, though.
Yeah, and
you know what I mean?
Pettigrew. So it started with Pettigrew, then it started with Ebron.
I think.
But Patricia's not.
I think he
will
will be. I think he'll be Stafford's new favorite friend.
Yeah.
I can see him getting about 500 to 600 yards.
Yeah, with no.
500 to 600
so that's
yards,
middle of the pack.
about 50, 60 catches.
That's the middle of the pack.
I'm gonna say 8, 9 TDs. Though.
I think he takes a lot of the Reddick's receptions that would be left behind with him leaving.
That's my guy. Now let's. I think we should jump into because you know quarterbacks it's kind of all the same names. I think we should probably jump into guys who had good years last year. Are they going to repeat? Number one on the list, you say Tyler Boyd. What you think? Talk to me. Is he going to repeat? You know what he had last year?
I mean, they was bad last year.
76 receptions.
I had him.
1,028
I had
yards.
him. He got me through the middle of the season.
He had 67 receptions on the stack.
76 receptions, 1,028 yards.
Boy,
and how many TDs?
What, 5 maybe? Something.
6, I think.
Yeah.
I have to look it up. About 6.
So now, I mean,
As a second-year player, or was he a rookie last year?
It's his third year.
Third year,
It's his
okay.
third year, but he was
that's the
banged
breakout
up.
year, really.
Yeah, it is. With the receivers, yeah.
But I mean, I didn't want no Bengals. They was bad last year, and he balled out. So will he do it again? I don't know. I'm a fan of Boyd though, but will he have another stack again?
How do you feel about the new
75.
system that they run?
That's what I was just about to say.
That's a good point. They
Hey,
got a new system.
He comes from the McVay coaching tree, and you know what
That's
I've been
crazy.
reading? You
Fucking
know what
McVay
I've
got a
been?
coaching tree
And
already.
exactly. Crazy.
At 30-something.
What is it, a baby tree? What a baby tree?
A bonsai tree. He comes from the McVay bonsai tree.
Right.
But like I said, but man, I see him getting 90 catches, 1,200 yards, and 8 TDs this year. Coming from Boyd, you know why? They talking about they moving him around the field.
Yeah,
They're gonna
they
move
do.
him
He
around.
line up everywhere.
That's why I
He's
sneakily like Joe Mixon this year. And you see, they just gave Gio the little money. That ain't
That's
because
why
they
I
lead
think
back. That's because they moving him around.
Mixing
And
a lot
I'm
of
trying to
things.
shake something up over there. I don't think they're gonna be good.
Right.
But I think Tyler Boyd moving around the field, slide here, motion outside here, catching his mismatches.
Yeah.
If he has 76 catches with Driscoll throwing to him towards the end of the year with 1,028 yards,
That's a
why
good
can't
point.
he get 90 catches and 1,200 yards this year? I like Boyd a lot.
That's a good point.
I wouldn't want him to be my second best receiver.
There you go.
You
If
know
I
what
went
mean? Unless
running back
I got
heavy.
crazy running back.
Yeah, if I went
You know
running
what I
back
mean?
heavy,
But
he definitely
I
could
think
be
he
my
went
second receiver.
3, 4, 5, 6 round.
That ain't
That
bad.
ain't bad, dog.
That ain't bad at all. Whose team is he on? Where's he at? Where y'all see him at?
Ryan Steen,
Oh.
Mr. Reach, Mr. Shook once. Yeah, I don't know. Boyd.
Boyd went before Ridley, before Cup,
I'll take him over really.
before
You
Landry.
take him over really and Cup?
Especially if AJ gonna be out 3, 4, 5 games. You
I
damn
think
right.
with or without AJ, he's
No,
good.
he balled when AJ was out last year, and when he was the number one guy, he balled. Like I got nothing bad to say about Boyd. I think that he probably could have the same year he had. I don't know about better. I would like him on
Hey,
that
but you
team.
know what I look at it like? I look at it like he had that in a Marvin Lewis offense.
Facts.
And now he got part of the
What's
bonsai.
the dude's
McVay
name?
tree.
The new coach now?
I couldn't even tell you. I just know he's
Yeah.
part of the McVay bonsai tree.
So it's gonna bring in a little bit
Talking about
more.
is it the young cat?
Yeah,
Zach
yeah.
something.
Zach Taylor.
Exactly.
That's his name. Zach Taylor. Yeah, I think that new shakeup is gonna bring some life into that Bengals offense, even though they lost the first round pick, which I think he's a local kid. We filming somewhere
Ross?
in California.
I don't know if he's a local kid. I know Joe Mixon.
No, the tackle. The tackle that they drafted, he tore his ACL or something like that. Yeah, he from like
He from down the street or something.
yeah, he's from somewhere out. But they lost him, and I think they lost another.
We in Northern California, by the way.
Facts. But I think that the offense is going to get a whole boost to it. You know what I mean? And I definitely high on Mixon, which is he's one of my picks of the. Can he repeat his
Well, let's
season?
jump into Joe Mixon and
Oh shit! Wow, damn! I ain't mad at you. I just think my point on Joe Mixon was he hit for 1,100 plus yards last year with like 30 receptions. I think in this offense that Zach Taylor's going to bring, I can see that the 1,100 yards. If it's not 1,100 yards, it could be 10.5, 10.75. But if he's giving me close to 40 to 50 receptions in this PPR game that we play, he's going to jump up from being the 9th-ranked PPR fantasy back last year to...
He was 9th?
Yeah, he was 9th, I think. I think that he can jump up into that top 5 without facts.
Top 5?
Top 5. I think he can do it, bro.
After
chance.
Kamara, McCaffrey, Zeke.
Tell me.
No chance.
Tell me. I didn't take him, but I could definitely see that, though,
James
bro.
Conner better than James Conner?
No chance.
I don't know.
I'm scared.
Nigga,
Joe Mixon.
Conner fizzled
Nick
out.
Chubb, your boy Nick Chubb.
I don't want.
I took him. I say I can see it, but I didn't take him. I took Chubb because I believe in Chubb.
Because if you think Mixon's top 5, you should have.
No, I didn't say I think he's top 5, but he has the potential of being a top 5
So you think
fantasy
Nick
back.
Chubb could have the potential to be a top 5?
Oh yeah, easily.
With that line?
With that line, with that whole everything that they got over there, you damn right.
We'll get back to that. Let's jump into. I don't mean to cut you off. Let's go to Chris Carson. Because you know everybody loves Chris Carson.
Y'all loved Chris Carson. I picked Henry over Chris Carson. I had Carson last year, and he's cool. I'm not sold
He's
on.
just stay hurt. He's in and out the lineup.
What do you
Yeah,
have,
I'm not
1,200
sold.
rushing?
He
He had
balled. They
1,200
run
rushing
the ball more than
Yeah, but he
anybody.
was hitting for like 30 attempts a game, so I don't know what his average.
Hey, you know how many?
But
he had 247 touches on the year.
yeah, what was his average? What was his average per carry?
I mean, he's a good.
No, he's
player.
definitely a great guy.
I'm not sold on Carson. I'm just unsold on Rashad Penny. So if that's the case, then yeah, I like Carson because on his team, yeah. But do I want him? No, obviously I picked Henry.
But see, I like Rashad Penny though. He came on kind of late, and you know what I mean.
You spend the first round pick on that dude.
You're
gonna give him an opportunity to get your
He didn't
ROI
He
back.
win the shit all year.
But
No, I feel you.
this is my thing about Carson. Carson was going what round? Well, his ADP was probably fourth, fifth round. I think that's too high. He had 247 touches last year, where Rashad Penny only getting 85. That's not gonna happen this year. Rashad Penny gonna get 100 plus.
Yeah, but them
touches.
But
this year.
Yeah, but Seattle, they're the most run heavy team, and
But even then, when you cut his rushes from 247 to
200
200,
solid.
that's solid.
Yeah,
man.
no, I understand
Penny's a
it.
third round back though.
I think they realize they cannot run Carson to the ground.
Exactly. That's why I don't.
So
want
drafting him as if you drafting him in the 4th, he's probably gonna be one of your best running backs.
But
Do
listen,
you like him or no?
I don't.
Yeah,
I was hyping up.
I
Aaron
do
when he
not.
drafted him.
I do not. That's because I needed a running back.
I understand that.
I needed a running
And that's
back.
the cool thing. So if he had 240, you said last year,
247 touches.
247 attempts, and this boy's only putting up, I don't know what the exact number is, but if he's only putting up
1,200 yards.
No, the average yard per carry. That's what I'm talking about. So if the average yard per carry was under 4 yards, and you taking attempts from me, his yardage is definitely gonna go down because he not getting them breakaway runs.
And that's my point. Will he? He's gonna have less carries. Will he still produce? Fuck no. That's what I think. Fuck no. Me personally. So we not sold on Carson.
No, I'm not. I mean, I would have loved to have him on my team as my second running back, not my first. But yeah, I would have taken him. I would have taken him. But
Let's jump into somebody that people were grabbing in the first or early second round that had great year last year. And I think this is a big one because when you talk about players who had great years last year, you say, will they repeat? Juju. What y'all think? Juju.
man, them niggas.
You drafted him in the first, so you gotta think he's.
I drafted him in the first with the 12th pick.
You know what you gonna think? What are you
So,
expecting out of him?
What am I expecting out of him? 160 targets was last year. 111 receptions.
He helped me win the ship too. Shout out to Juju.
Shout out to Juju.
160 targets, 111 receptions, 1,400 yards, and 9 TDs.
That's what he had last year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Hold on, can I finish my point, bro? This shit is in my head.
Who I drafted first round?
Man, come on, this shit is in my head. I'm giving you numbers. So what I'm expecting from him is, and Pittsburgh threw a league high 680 something times, right? So I don't think that maybe the 1,400 yards might be there, but the 100 plus receptions, I think the touchdowns can definitely go up dramatically from 9 to 13 to 14 for sure, because without
he like to dance,
bruh, and there's been plenty of times where the boy done got caught inside the 5 on a breakaway. The boy had a 97-yard reception last year.
Hey,
you know
2
what I mean?
years in a row. That's crazy.
Man, this shit is crazy. But what I do expect for him though to be on the up and up though is the receptions. Maybe not the yard. That's a lot of yards. The boy hit almost 1,500 yards. That's a lot of yards, bro. But
with AB over there.
Without a doubt. But also, I do feel that Moncrief and James Washington can fill some of the shoes that AB did leave. And
I think Juju fill AB shoes. They need somebody to fill Juju shoes.
That's right. But see, AB lined up on the outside, and my boy lines up in the inside.
Yeah.
He in that slide, it ain't really that what much you can do to a dude in the slide. Just like what Julian Edelman did, man. Julian, you can't cover him, bro. Come on, man. So I mean, you know, of course I'm gonna be biased right now because I'm begging.
I'm gonna say this: we're gonna see what the formula is game 1, because who's the master of taking away your best player? Belichick. They play the Pats week 1.
Without a doubt.
I think they're gonna show the formula.
But they're not gonna play the Pats every week though, and
But
everybody don't got the personnel that the Pats got.
formula.
Man, everybody don't got the personnel that the Pats got.
Or the greatest.
Me personally,
you can't do that.
Juju gonna do his thing. Like you said, 1,400 yards is a lot. I think he goes back down to about 11 or 12, but he's still.
That's great. But what I'm thinking is that
that's only like 70, 80 yards. I didn't even cut you off. It's only like 80 yards a game. Like
I think he regresses. Look. When I say regress, I don't want you to think. Obviously, 1,400 yards is crazy, so a little regression is not a failure for sure. But the boy ain't seen no double team his whole career. He had 1,400 yards and 900 yards, 7 touchdowns both years with Mr. Big Chest himself. You telling me he's not gonna be a little worse with the best corner?
Nah, I'm
he's the best corner can't line up in a slot either.
But he's the game plan. When you game plan against a receiving core, it's against Juju.
Listen, tell you though,
it's against Juju.
When did Sherman follow niggas across the field?
What corner follows him besides Ramsey right now?
Fuck following him.
No.
Game planning for him. Let's stop Juju.
Then we got Vance, baby. Let's go, Vance.
James Washington drops balls. Moncrief has been on how many teams in how many years? He can't say who is that guy, right? Besides his old favorite player, right? You used to love saying Moncrief. That nigga was weak. Hey, but like I said, come on, bro.
No.
Juju ain't seen the double team his whole career, bro.
This is why Juju gonna kill. Right here. He gonna kill it. He gonna probably be another top 5 guy. I'm gonna give you some names. Hines Ward. Santonio Holmes.
On the same team.
Antoine Randall.
On the same team.
Plaxico Burress. Mike Wallace. Emmanuel Sanders. These are
all great
all
receivers,
that the Steelers groomed on their own.
Hey,
that's why they're comfortable.
They all had a star next to him.
No, they did not.
Who they
did not.
Name him again.
Plaxico and Santonio Holmes was not as good as Juju. Not
as good as AB.
Bro.
Nigga, thank you.
That's why
they all had a star.
When AB took off, they had Mike Wallace bum ass. He was the best receiver. AB came.
But what did Mike Wallace do when he left?
But you said bum ass.
I'm saying all the niggas you named, they had another dude there.
No.
Juju don't got nobody with him.
So you're saying that James Washington can't step up? What
I
about
gotta see
Deontay Johnson that they just drafted?
All they do is develop receivers.
That's what they do,
That's
bro.
all they do. If they do
what they do,
anything,
bro.
they gonna have linebackers and they gonna have receivers.
Shoot the one, you got it. Y'all
No. I understand, and like you said, there's going to be some type of regression. I see the receiving yards being a regression, but what I do see is that the touchdowns going from 9 to double digits, bro. That's what I do see.
Hey, let me ask you this one question.
And in our league, we get 6 points per TD reception, bro.
Let me ask you this. This obviously you can't predict injuries, right?
Facts.
Well, who's their backup quarterback?
Nigga, Dobbs and
Dobbs and
Rudolph.
I like Rudolph, Mason Rudolph.
And
I like
Dobbs.
Mason Rudolph.
Josh Dobbs.
I'm gonna say this, bro. Big Ben, all that little line.
Big Ben don't get hurt, bro.
He gets hurt in plays too. And this year,
exactly.
he's gonna get hurt, and he's not gonna play through that.
Get the fuck out. Man, we love you, Big Ben. You might cheat, bro. You might cheat, bro. Well, no, we ain't predicting you to get hurt, bro. That's what we ain't doing.
All right, let's get to let's jump to the next topic, right? Let's do players on new teams. Will they have success? We got Mark Ingram, Tevin Coleman, Duke Johnson. We already covered Crowder. And the big one, AB. Let's start with AB.
Man.
Let's start with AB.
To me, I think he's chasing Jerry Rice.
AB, baby.
I think he's chasing man. Float like a butterfly, sting like AB. I think you chasing the goal, bro. I think you there, bro. You gonna do your thing, man.
That's the illest nigga right now, man. Like his work ethic, I ain't never seen nobody take practice reps like that. Like you follow his social media and you see him working, how he work. Like that's why I think Gruden, you watch Hard Knocks, like he not really worried about it. He just want him there because when AB on the field with your team, he gonna up your whole other level. When he at practice, it's a whole nother level. So, I mean, AB gonna kill, like, period.
Rest in peace to my pops, man, down there. He didn't get to see AB go to the Raiders, but if he was here right now, he'd be talking about how they got the best receiver in the game.
Man, they
going to the Super Bowl. This is what I'm going to say about AB and the Raiders. I think it's more about the Raiders than AB, because if you ask me, when they lose them few tough ones, you know what I mean? They might not lose. They might get Denver the first game, but when they lose 2 to 3 tough ones, you gonna see maybe 4 or 5, and they not doing it. I see AB, Mike Mayock suspending him, bro. You see what he just did with the practice thing? Now, I know he was setting an example, and I'm with that, but it's something Mayock don't like AB. You could tell. Yeah, I'm not just reading between the lines, but they think AB's a problem. Did you see the shit with the helmet where it looks like?
But who's really running the team? Look,
did you see the shit with the helmet where he was saying it was all basically a scheme?
Oh,
to the helmet people that he's in business with about business. Yeah. Bro, the man, you say he's chasing Jerry, I feel you, but AB ain't about winning no more, bro. AB ain't about you can say it, but I feel like when they lose legacy, 2, 3, 4 games, that boy's gonna blow it throwing nutty, bro.
He gonna do a Randy Moss and open it in.
He gonna blow it nutty. Anybody who drafted him in that second round, you gonna be sick. AB this year, he gonna have one of the worst years of his career. Period.
I think AB's straight because I don't think he burned trees. So as long as you come to the Bay and you don't burn trees, you don't come with Randy Moss on.
Have you ever had a blister on your feet?
That nigga got
it's like water in between.
He got the shit,
and it's constantly rubbing.
Yeah, I mean,
that's all lingers.
Nigga, that was almost 2 months ago.
Yeah, that's his
feet probably.
He got new skin and grown and all that, and he got the best people working on this shit. You seen them niggas cutting this shit with scissors?
Hey, if he was getting mad at Big Ben, imagine how you gonna be feeling about Derek.
That's because Big Ben was throwing him under the bus. DC don't do no weird shit like that.
Jesus and shit.
DC's a California nigga too, though. Excuse me, my bad, DC, but.
You say Jesus and shit?
Stuff.
But yeah, though, but DC not that type of dude, though, bro. On everything. He's still trying to rebound from the past years, and the dude that AB wants to be and still who he is and who he wants to be is compared to Jerry Rice, bro.
Yeah,
I just don't see him spazzing out like that. I don't. The boy, for him to work as hard as he does and to maybe give it up off of spazzing out or something, I don't see that. Why still come to work every day?
How many losing seasons did the Steelers have?
They haven't had one.
Not with him.
They haven't had one.
We're not losing.
So we don't know.
Technically lose. They didn't make the alls, but
so we don't know how he's gonna react.
We don't.
Let's jump into the next person I got. We're gonna skip Crowder because we already talked about it. We're gonna skip Tevin Coleman. Let's jump into Mark Ingram. Mark Ingram.
I think this is one of the best moves he could have made. Like his best case for Mark Ingram with the. I mean, they're gonna run the ball, obviously. I mean, I think Jackson he gonna throw a little bit more this year, but Ingram with the RPOs they're gonna be running, and then you know, and the QB options and shit like that, and Baltimore's defense is gonna be putting them in good positions.
Yeah.
You know, I think the running game is gonna flourish. I got my dog Gus Edwards over here. We're gonna see he's gonna be a little sleeper. Don't sleep on Gus Edwards because he's the only. I'm gonna bring Gus Edwards into it also because he's the only running back like himself in that offense. He's the power back when you need that tough yard.
That Frank Gore to what? Because Greg Roman is the OC over there.
Okay.
You remember when we had Greg Roman?
Yeah, we had
it was Kaepernick days.
Yeah,
it was Kaepernick days. It was the, like you just said, the RPOs when we had Harbaugh.
Yeah.
So I can see Mark Ingram fitting that Frank Gore, Anthony Dixon, and then AD was killing him, bro.
He looks slimmer. I feel like he's gonna catch some passes this year.
Without a doubt, bro. Without a doubt, it's a run heavy offense, bro.
This what I think as far as catching passes. I don't know how many he'll catch. I like Ingram, I do, but I feel like he's competing with his quarterback. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, I would like Ingram, but I kind of don't really want him on my team this year. I like Justice Hill a lot more than Ingram, and the reason why I like Justice Hill is because he's got change of pace back. Like how they had Buck Allen last year was the pass catching back. Gus Edwards was the ground and pound. I think Ingram gonna be the ground and pound. But the dude's getting old, bro. I don't see him staying healthy, bro. I see Justice Hill.
What's up with this not staying healthy?
Okay,
shit
let's skip the injury.
bro.
Let's skip the injury. We can't predict injury. Like I said, I like Ingram, but I think Justice Hill. You know, I know he's a lot of everyone's sleeper, so maybe he's not a sleeper no more, but I just think he's more effective. I think Ingram, yeah, they gave him the deal they gave him, but he ain't the future, bro.
I got some stats that's going to surprise you because there's plenty of carries to go around with Jackson and Ingram. So I'm not really feeling like that argument about it because it's going to be, like I said, you're going to have to turn around and hand the ball off 300 times, 400 times in the season. But some stats that surprised me, 2015, Ingram, 50 catches. 2016, 46 catches. 2017, 58 catches. Last year, limited role though, 21 catches. 2014, 9 tugs. 2015, 6, 12, 6. He gets in the end zone, he catches the ball. You might not think about that because you think him as a bigger back, but Ingram could go.
But New Orleans have been in the top 2, top 3 for the last probably, as far as running, probably 7, 8 years or something crazy.
With who? He's with the number 2 pick in the draft. And so you saying that Jackson gonna take
But he only been there 3 years with him though.
He was just
what was he doing before that?
When did Kamara get in the league? 2016?
What was he doing
2016,
before that?
2017, he ran
what was
for
he
a
doing
rack.
before that?
He ran for a rack, 5 yards a carry. Since 2013, he ain't been under 4.4 yards a carry. Ingram been that guy. I think we're underrating.
I think the boy's a plotter.
Ingram.
A plotter going nowhere fast. If you ask me, he hits them holes. He do his thing. Former Heisman and all that. But like I said, I don't think Justice is better at this point.
I'm gonna go out on.
But I just think as far as like if I got a running back and he's starting for me, now obviously if you got him, he's probably not your number 1 back. But I want him to have as many opportunities as possible. And Lamar Jackson is taking a lot of them possibilities away. You splitting carries with running backs and your quarterback?
Lamar Jackson didn't run the ball 100 times last year.
McCaffrey did his thing last year. I think a lot more because Cam was hurt and he wasn't running as much. Now imagine if Cam had more rushing touchdowns, McCaffrey's would have went down a little bit. I think that's the same with Ingram. I don't think Ingram is going to be what people expect fantasy-wise. I think he's going to let you down more weeks and he's going to bust for you.
I think we just talked about him. I think I go out on a limb. Ingram has a better fantasy year than Joe Mixon.
I mean, he's in a better rushing offense, but you know, we'll check back on that one. We'll check back.
That's a bold prediction.
Prediction.
Facts. Wow.
So shit, let's jump into your guy, Duke Johnson.
Duke, I mean,
JR.
Who else is gonna get the ball to?
I know Carlos Hyde.
I know Carlos Hyde is there now, and they was on a team last year together, and Hyde got the bulk of the carries. But for that offense in Houston, how they gonna spread it out and be more vertical than than the Browns were last year. I think that's the best running back for Houston.
But saying vertical, Deshaun is looking down that field. I don't think he's looking to them flats to go to.
Every quarterback
Duke
looks to the
lines up
flats
the wide receiver though.
When you're under pressure, like, and you got a weapon back there like Duke, you gonna look up that
the
stat.
dump off.
Because I heard a stat. I can't remember exactly what it was. But Deshaun Watson don't throw to that running back. Now they haven't had a running back you throw to Lamar, but Lamar.
But when you got Hop though,
he can catch. Yeah. When you got D Hop and just got Kenny Stills, QT will be back, Will Fuller back.
Right.
Bro, I don't think Duke is gonna be what people think he's
gonna be on the field. And that's all you can ask for. When you're he's gonna be on the field more times than any other running back.
With them getting Tunsil just this week, last week, whatever it was,
yeah.
Tunsil gonna help out a whole lot.
Offensive lineman, the best.
I think so. I think it's gonna be a lot more opportunity for this for the offense for Watson, because Watson got sacked like 60 something times last year, one of the worst offensive lines there was. With him being able to get a little bit better protection, and if Duke can bring something to the run game, which it ain't no knock on Lamar Miller, because Lamar Miller was consistently 8, 9, damn near 1,000 yards for the last few years.
And 50 catches.
Facts. So I definitely do see Duke JR trying to be that same type of back Lamar Miller.
Kevin made a good point though. They go downfield a lot, and that's the cause for a lot of his sacks.
Yeah,
don't touch the ball. So I think this year they make a conscious effort, maybe getting the ball out a little bit sooner and getting your guys in some open space. And
I can see that, especially trading for O linemen, and you know what I mean.
And what they gave for him, they gave a two ones and a 2 for that boy. So
they were serious.
Fact, yeah.
Serious. But no, in our league, a quarterback who gets sacked, that's -1. So I had Watson, so I paid close attention to how many sacks Watson took.
And watched 60 plus, bro.
And he holds on to the ball all the time. Like, that might be one of the few weaknesses of Watson that you can point out, is he might hold on to the ball a little bit too long.
Now let's jump into something that I know a lot of people probably drafted by now, with the game being tomorrow. But let's jump into breakout rookies. One rookie that I love a lot.
His RB1
is Josh Jacobs.
His RB1.
2 reasons why I like him. Y'all might think this is funny, right? Last year I loved Connor. The boy beat cancer.
Shout out to Connor, man.
Boy beat cancer.
He was saying that all year.
Facts.
He beat cancer. He can't do nothing but go up from here. Josh Jacobs, did y'all catch the story on ESPN? The boy was living out of his car, homeless. He's one of the most humble kids from his, as far as his story, that you can be. He went to the #1 school in the nation, Alabama. They said he was one of the best running backs in the nation that wasn't getting looks. He didn't get offers until his senior year, and he was breaking records in his state. Hard Knocks. He's ducking the camera. You know what that tells me? That's a guy who's coming to do what he got to do, win. Let's talk about it later. Hey, what Lynch say?
About that action, boss.
About that action, boss. Josh Jacobs. I love Josh Jacobs this year. Love him. John Gruden loves his workhorse running backs.
Charlie Gardner. Y'all might be too young for Charlie Gardner.
Loves his workhorse running back.
Charlie Gardner.
Josh Jacobs. Every year we got rookies that end up being first-round draft picks the next year.
Especially at the receiving position.
I like
running back. I'm talking about running back.
I mean, at the running back. Excuse me.
Barkley.
Yeah, but I mean, Barkley was a #1.
McCaffrey after his first year. Zeke after his first year. So, yeah.
Come on, Josh Jacobs.
First round.
That's my guy. Too. Hey, not just because I got him, but that's my guy.
I think the Raiders' offense is gonna be stupid. It's just gonna
and he's fresh too.
Yeah.
They splitting
carries
over there.
They're splitting carries in Alabama, so
he's fresh.
He's fresh.
Nick Saban don't go get bums.
Gruden gonna mess with him.
Come on, man. First round draft pick. That boy about to do his thing, and he's gonna win me the league. Josh Jacobs is a league winner, y'all. Mark that down.
So we each got one breakout rookie.
Who's your breakout rookie?
He probably gonna start off a little slow, but I'm liking Deebo Samuels.
I like Debo.
I think Debo, he's just the beast. When he get the ball in his hand, he get in space. He look like a running back.
He's seasoned too. 4 years.
Exactly. He can run all the routes. He the route tree. He can line up at the X or the Y. He end rounds, reverses. Like they're gonna get the ball in Debo's hands, and so maybe I don't know about breakout. Maybe not breakout fantasy, but breakout during the season. No, I'm gonna say breakout fantasy. I think he's gonna be a big target and yak guy. I think he's gonna be a guy who runs after the catch a lot.
I can see that. I could definitely see that.
Especially with Goodwin is only
He's not
gonna be on the field all 3 days. I don't think because I see a 2 wide receiver set, maybe 2 tight ends with the run heavy game, and Debo's not coming off that field, bro.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough.
Without a doubt. I like Debo a lot. I hope they use him. That's my thing. I mean, you go get him in the second round.
Yeah,
I mean,
you got to.
You got to, bro.
And Pettis too.
Yeah.
So
you can come get him too, though.
Every time I looked at a Niner, Breida, Coleman, or Samuel, I was damn, you had him. Literally, every time I was looking over, I'm looking for the sticker.
Now, Guccini, we know you bought into the hype like everybody else on Montgomery. So, could you tell us why? Is he really? Is he what they say he is, or what?
To me, I think so, bro. I've heard some of the other, fantasy dudes. They tap into the PFF ratings and whatnot. And one stat that I heard from about Montgomery is that he made 100 people miss twice in a season, bro.
That's advanced stats right
that's
there.
Advanced stats,
and that's what they've been saying he's doing at camp.
And then if you look the last 2 years since Nagy's been there in the Jordan Howard role, it was 250 attempts, twice. One of the years he hit for 11.5, 11.25, something like that, at 9 touchdowns. And with fucking Cohen not being an every down back, but Cohen gonna get some snaps. You know what I mean? I think this boy Montgomery is really gonna fucking flourish, bro, on everything. I think they're gonna give it to him. And my cousin, his team name in the other league is called Winterbacks. That's what this boy is. That's what Jordan Howard did. That's where he did his damage at. Is come November, December, late October when it starts to get windy in the windy
cold. What y'all know about them winterbacks, man? If you ain't got them, you better load up on the winterbacks, because when it gets cold, you gotta hand the ball off. Get you some winterbacks, man. Get you some winterbacks. I'm telling you. So we got, obviously the ones Debo's and Josh Jacobs and Montgomery. I like Miles Sanders a lot. Like I said, I like Justice Hill, like everybody, and I like my guy Ogunbalawale out there at Tampa Bay.
That's right.
I like him, Well, look, we almost getting to the end of the show, so we're going to move just a little bit quicker on these ones. Let's go with a few bounce-back players off of injury. First one, Jimmy G. What Jimmy G going to do?
Ball.
He got probably the most doubters because of his contract out of everybody.
All right, and then
he gonna ball.
The 5 interceptions in practice.
We don't care about
the
that.
Motherfucking the fucking Denver game. His first game back. A lot of you motherfuckers that get paid to talk about this fucking football, y'all was down on that boy, and you see what he did against Kansas City, and we know what Kansas City defense may not be, but yet. When we played them last year and the boy got hurt, go back and check that tape on what he was doing in that second half. I'm telling you, bro, this boy Jimmy, man, I'm telling you. Even in the first game, in the Minnesota game, go check the tape on that. I'm telling you, this boy Jimmy G, man, I'm telling you, and he got more weapons.
He got way more weapons
right
now. So I like Jimmy.
I'm
a Niner. I'm biased for sure, but
but just from the eye test that we see from watching this shit, man, the boy Jimmy. He gonna do his thing. He might throw 4,200 yards, 39 on the low end, bro, with 30 TDs. Facts. And then you got GK, that's ready to go ahead and take it to a whole nother level, bro. George Kittle, my bad, y'all. You might not know that. When you coming off a season with record-setting yardage as a tight end, come on, man. What you want to do, bro? On everything. But I think my player. Well, this dude wasn't injured. but he didn't play the whole year just based on because he didn't want to do it. But he sat out for a whole year. Le'Veon Bell. I think Le'Veon Bell is going to go back to his form. He's going back to his form, bro.
Lev Bell gonna be Lev Bell.
My brother is hungry, bro. Real talk. He's the best running back, hands down, bro. On my mama, and
I think niggas forgot. I think niggas forgot.
And done it for years, bro. I think the Pittsburgh success from the last 3 years, not including last year that he set up, but from the last 3 years before that, when he was there, he was the main reason for their whole success on the offensive side of the ball, bro. He made it easier for AB to eat. He made it easier for Juju his rookie year to go ahead and continue to contribute, bro. He makes it easy on all them dudes, bro. And he's going to do that with the young Sam Darnold, bro. I swear to you.
I agree.
I think the boy was rapping too much in his offseason, and he's gonna start off slow. You know, he's gonna see how it feels to not be in a real offense. You know, I'll take that back though. I'm being a hard critic. He gonna do his thing. He gonna do his thing. It depends though, because I think Gase holds players back. I don't know if it's
Gase. What?
I don't know if it's an
Gase
ego
was
thing
balling
or
with Drake.
Yeah, no,
Drake
he was holding Drake
What's
back.
the one?
Man, they went to the All-Star.
What's the one boy named in Chicago, the running back? When the motherfucking I can't even think of the quarterback's name.
With who? With Miami?
In Chicago. Gase was the OC in Chicago.
Oh, with Forte.
With Forte.
Yeah.
Bam.
Yeah, no,
Forte.
Gase is the running back guru.
Trust me.
I mean,
Forte
was Lev Bell.
Facts.
But Gase is another
Trust me, he had Forte there, bro.
Yeah.
What was the quarterback's name?
Shit, they had a few.
Nah, the one dude though. He just played for the Dolphins 2 years ago. He came out of retirement.
Buzzcut. What's his name? Buzzcut.
Damn, I can't even think of Brian's name. But I'm telling you, so they brought Gase in to help him, and I'm telling you, Forte had. I can't even think of the numbers off the rip.
No receptions.
That's what I'm saying.
A couple years, man.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
So.
And I'm telling you, I should. I ain't gonna say I should have took him, but I was high on Bell. I was high. Trust me.
He was going on that right.
Trust me, I was high on Bell, bro.
Definitely was coming back to get him. My
Josh
guy is
down.
No, the other one, the boy from Denver.
He
went from Denver to Chicago. The quarterback.
Was it?
Orton did that too, but it's not him. It's
Bums.
Grossman?
No, not Grossman. Damn, what's that motherfucker's name?
That shit right on. Right.
Let's while you
we'll come back to it.
While you thinking that, let's jump to Fournette and Freeman.
Fournette and Freeman.
Fournette for me is easy. The boy ain't been healthy his whole year. I'm interested. I'm more willing to see what his son look like in about 15 years than Fournette staying healthy in these next however long is his career.
Yeah, I'm not a Fournette Freeman guy fantasy wise. Like they dope running backs and all that, but I'm not. I wasn't checking for them this year.
We call Freeman El Concusto in our league, not because he gets a lot of concussions, just because it's always going to be something. He's going to get hurt. Probably a concussion. I don't know. He goes hard. He runs hard. But he's always hurt. Same with Fournette. I don't like neither one of them. Yeah. What about Hunter Henry and Greg Olsen?
I like Olsen a lot.
Greg Olsen.
I like Henry a lot.
Feet, boy.
I want the young boy. I say I don't want nobody on my team older than me.
You know one thing I like Hunter Henry a lot. They say his stats when they put out his stats is pretty crazy. Just the yards and the catches that he gets in the little time he gets.
And what Rivers does with his tight ends.
But I think Mike Williams is they touchdown in the end zone guy right now.
But you got two threats though.
He throw the ball 30 times. It seems like every week.
Hunter would be cool. Top 5
tight end.
Top 5 tight end.
Yeah, probably right at 5.
Maybe 4.
What you got? Ertz,
easily.
Kittle, Kelsey. Yeah, you could be 4.
Easily, without a doubt. I mean, we didn't see it in the past. I mean, fucking Gates is a prolific tight end, man.
Let's jump to the last two, Geis and Cup. Cooper Kupp.
That's the guy. If I wanted anybody that I didn't get, it was probably Cooper Kupp.
I'm gonna say this about Cooper Kupp. We got somebody in our league that's involved in the NFL. Not gonna say no names, but when I seen him grab Cooper Kupp, I wanted to get in every league I was in.
Bro,
because he knows what's going on with Cooper Kupp.
He knows the Rams, but even if he didn't, I wanted I wanted fucking Cooper Kupp over Woods, over Cook, like a no-brainer. Like, cause when they were just a different team when Kupp got hurt last year,
Yeah, I was on
they
the
was a
run.
different team.
That's why I love Jared.
That's
That's what I love about Jared Goff this year.
I was on a run.
You got Cooper Kupp.
I
mean, Woods is dope, and so is Cooks. He do his thing, but Kupp is just.
If you guys are familiar with the "Don't Be a Menace," that they talk about, or how high they talk about the White Devils. He had Thielen and Cup last year, and I told him the White Devils is gonna let you down at the end of the year. And sure enough, Thielen was the number 43 wide receiver towards the end of the year. And Cooper Kupp went down, man. The White Devils. Hey, I'm half white. I love my white folks. I love all y'all. It's a movie thing. The White Devils.
That's all it is.
The White Devils let it
That's
down.
all it is.
I got one quick guy. I might talk to him a little bit early, but Will Fuller. That's the breakout guy for sure. He played 11 games with Watson, 11 touchdowns, 15.5 yards per reception. I mean, the dude, Watson literally got 2 wide receiver ones on his team.
They say the boy fatter this year. They say he can gain some weight.
Say, we don't listen to they.
They
gained some weight to stay strong.
Whoever they is, they see this him on the scale.
The boy about 180, so I would hope he gained
so
a little
weight.
bit. I hope he gained a little bit of weight.
That's another person I'm gonna put in the can't stay healthy category. I'm gonna be honest with you. And I'm
he drafted him a few times in the league.
Oh no, I was the first one.
I know you was.
This was the
I was the first.
I
was
nigga tried to run niggas back too.
That's what it was. I drafted Fuller.
That's what
I was calling him the next OBJ
Still got
because I was trying to add value to selling him, and I did trade him.
Like how we're trying to
And
do
he got hurt. So, like I said,
but that boy is a big play waiting to happen.
He is.
Can we get Geis? Can we hear something about Geis? What y'all think, man? Is it the offense
I
that's going to hold him
couldn't
back?
I ain't got no comment on that.
I don't know how is he healed? Is he healed? Is he gonna start?
He run hard. I think he run hard, so it makes it look like he's ready more than he is.
Chris Thompson. That's
Thompson.
who I like, bro, in that backfield.
I like Thompson.
I like Chris Thompson. That's how we gonna do that. But Chris Thompson, he done burned me a couple times, broken legs. I don't know if it was a hamstring one year, but I had him 2 years in a row, and he'd get you them 30-point games, 25-point games in like 4 straight games, and then, you know what I mean? He's on the sideline limping.
He's a plug and play. So look, let's jump into one of these, right? This will be a little quick. We do the over-unders on players finishing at, I say top 7 to 8 in their position. We're going to start with running backs. Dalvin Cook, top 8.
Yeah.
Over-under.
Top 8. Running backs, I could say that.
I say under, and I say top 5.
I wanted Dalvin Cook bad, and I was mad he had that long ass run in preseason because I know that woke everybody up after that. I was kind of mad he did that. So easy top 8.
Nigga, just not too long ago, you got on me for taking this nigga.
Smoke screen.
Exactly, but nigga, you see him can finish top 5, and Joe Mixon can't finish top 5, and Joe Mixon done played all 6. Oh no, I ain't gonna say he played all 6. I think he might have played
way better offense.
And he's
now they turned into a run heavy scheme. They brought in
bro.
They brought in the running back.
I want to see him play the whole at least 12 games, bro.
That's the thing.
12 games.
You gotta stay healthy.
Give me 12 games, bro.
Players after ACLs are better their second year.
Bro, it wasn't the ACL last year. It was a hamstring last year. So that last year was his second year.
That's a common. No, that was the first year from his injury. The second year after the injury. The first hamstrings are an injury that happens with ACLs. It happens because it ain't as strong. Let's jump to the next one. Nick Chubb, top 8. Over under.
Man, he's under the top 8.
I can see Chubb right around 8.
I'm gonna say over because
that's perfect.
I'm gonna say over specifically, mostly because of their line, but specifically because they treating Baker like he's a godsend, and they're gonna pass.
So they're gonna pass
more than they should.
So he can get 17 attempts in like 5 catches and still hit
400
something.
I say
to
he's
finish
about
top
9,
8.
I say he's about 9.
Top 8, top 7, 6. You need to be the true workhorse. Yeah, he's the true workhorse. But did you see what they were doing? I know it's just preseason. They was lining Hunt out to the outside doing catches.
They gotta get this boy some reps. He don't get to come
I
back
know
till
they
week
gotta
10.
get him some reps, but it's like you could just tell that they're gonna go pass happy, and I think Baker's gonna make or break him. They're not gonna rely on.
You can't tell me that the way that they line up and the way that they show you in the preseason is
I'm
really
not
going to
saying
transit.
that. I'm saying they was putting niggas out 5 wide.
Yeah.
Bro, they're gonna
We
be
just
trying to
gonna throw the
rely
ball
on Baker.
We just want no.
And they gonna be talking when they losing games. Everybody's gonna say, "Run the ball more, run the ball more," and that's what's gonna happen. By then it'll be too late. You ain't gonna have no top 8. James Conner, top 8, over under.
Easy.
Under.
Fuck no.
Top 5, man.
Under.
Fuck no.
The boy beat cancer, man. The boy beat cancer.
Man, that ain't got nothing to do with
Nah, he's
me
a
saying why you not gonna be in the top 8 or under, bro. But I
think
you
he works.
fizzled out last year, bro.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
You're not ready.
I think he works in the offseason to prepare for them 250 carries.
But look at how good he did, and they threw the ball. How many times y'all said?
680
He
times.
fizzled out because they kept throwing the motherfucker. That's why.
Yeah,
They was throwing the ball too much.
That was the talk at the end of the year. Like they're not giving the ball to Connor as
Come on,
much.
man.
But I mean,
And then with the emergence of Jalen Samuels too, though, bro.
but that was also Lev Bell's point. Like, go ahead, give all the
Facts. He's not gonna be ready,
He's not
bro.
gonna be able to handle it all.
Everything.
So
Le'Veon is a whole nother dude, bro. Le'Veon is the one that carried them dudes, bro. Made it easier for everybody else on that offense.
So two unders and an over. You don't believe it?
I do. I still like Connor though. But he's
I
not
like
good.
Connor
I
top
ain't
8
mad
for
at
sure.
you.
Wide receivers, we gonna go Juju and AB. Top 8.
They both under.
Juju outperforms AB this year.
Juju,
But they both under.
I say Juju top 10, but he won't be the highest. I got Adams, Julio, D-Hop, Beckham, Thomas, Hill.
And I think that's Juju right there.
Juju 7. So yeah, under. I say Juju 7.
Even
Juju,
though
AB, Thing round out my top 10.
I kind of like Mike Evans.
Yeah,
like Mike
can't
Evans.
sleep on Mike.
Kind of like Mike Evans.
Can't
AB,
sleep on-
I
can't
say
sleep on
over.
Keenan Allen.
Nah, he got that high ankle sprain. I don't like them.
Yeah.
Those linger. He was another one I went on there,
Robert Woods,
and I'm gonna say
third round.
over for sure.
Jeez.
Who
Reese,
did that?
Woodrow, Reese.
Damn.
no, he didn't.
Yeah, he did. Robert
Oh, I
Woods,
did not
third
see.
round.
And Godwin.
Hey, shout out to Wood, man. He got a championship, but you gonna hear another term is MOP, Master of Panic.
Master of Panic.
That boy, that draft, yeah. Next one, AB, I say over. He's not finishing there. He don't got the personnel. So look, let's get into the last segment. This is gonna be one of the cornerstones of ours. We ask people to add us on Twitter during the week with your Heart2Starts, because we know once the year goes on and the injuries kick in, you're not gonna know who to play. I'm gonna give y'all one of my Heart2Starts in the league I got. I drafted Baker pretty high, but I also drafted Lamar Jackson, and I'm starting Lamar Jackson this week at Miami over Baker in Tennessee. What y'all think?
that game is in Miami.
Yeah.
You start Lamar. Oh yeah, Lamar
I'm
Jackson
starting
going
Lamar
home.
over
Lamar
Baker.
Jackson going home for sure. Broward County.
So we got
Have the family in the building. He going in.
So we got at Woodrow, who hit us and said, I have a Heart2Start. I went wide receiver heavy, and I don't know who to start out of. Breida, McCoy, and Geis. Shady McCoy and Geis, pick 2. To me, that's the easy one.
Breida.
We got to see what McCoy going to do. I say go Geis and Breida. Do you got the
We got to see
Heart2Start?
what guys do.
We got,
I
but
say
we
Breida.
know
You
we
gotta
getting that
pick two.
workload.
You gotta
though.
pick two.
You got to pick 2.
I
You
say
know we
Breida
getting
and
that-
McCoy.
Is he though?
Breida,
He's
McCoy,
right there.
Breida,
He
McCoy.
gonna get the workload fresh off of ACL
They said
surgery.
it. They put it out there.
Today?
The high-powered
The
offense.
coaches.
Oh, for real?
The
Damn.
coaches.
Yeah,
Shout out to my fantasy life app.
Yeah,
Shout
facts.
out to my
We
Facts.
fuck Matt Berry. We fuck with you,
Matt
bro.
Berry, for
Facts.
sure.
I fuck with Matt Berry.
For sure.
Hey, but no, I would say Breida and McCoy.
So look, we got another one, right? This is a person that I'm playing in the league. Used to be my rival, Brody Cortez. He drafted Pollard, but now Zeke got the contract. It's Heart2Start now. I know he gonna say Fuller because they playing against New Orleans, but I do think New Orleans D is a little better this year with Kenny Stills, Duke Johnson. I think they got a lot more weapons than last year when they just had Will Fuller and Hopkins before Fuller got hurt. QT came later.
Kenny Stills, I think, might be out.
Last year, I don't know if you noticed, but Cortland Sutton against the Raiders, that was one of his good games. 10 targets. He only had 65 yards and a touchdown. But, you know, like you said, you love Sutton. So do you got the heart to start Sutton?
He put.
Do you got the heart to start Sutton?
He trying to put Sutton in there. Sutton
Do you
ain't
got
even-
the heart to start
Sutton's
Sutton?
not even in the conversation.
Not even in
yet.
the conversation. You start Will Fuller. Hard to
No,
start.
I mean, not even gonna lie. Pollard is hard. Like, it's hard. I don't think Z just gonna get in.
They said Zeke not
and
gonna
just
get the full workload.
I think
20
Pollard,
to 25 reps I seen
I
out
think
here
Pollard.
this morning.
I think Pollard sneaking a touchdown. He
Ooh,
might get in
who
some
they play
yards.
this week?
So
The
they play the
Giants?
Giants. They gonna
Yeah.
get up. He gonna get some carries.
Ooh, Pollard might get a lot of carries.
That's what I'm saying. So
So-
like, it's not. It's still. It's gonna take me up till Sunday at 1:25 when that Cowboy game comes
So,
on.
hey,
But I also
we gonna
think-
find out about this, y'all. Hey,
But
hard to
we'll
start
know.
this week.
I
We
got
gonna
one.
update you.
I got
Pollard, Will Fuller, Pollard, Will
He
Fuller.
gonna be checking my team,
Oh, I'm
taking
checking.
picks, seeing when I move. Because throughout the week, I
That's
see my
KMZ.
guys.
Landslide victory. We started
Yeah,
strong.
right.
I ain't worried about it. I played two weeks out of 3. That's how to commit.
That's
to
fine.
that.
You can have a regular season like you did last year.
I could dig it.
You can have it.
I
I got
could
the jewelry. The jewelry, I left it back at the house though. I didn't want to,
Hey, but look, man, look, we just knocked out the first episode. You know, we coming back full throttle next week with 2 episodes. We're gonna have the Heart to Start more towards the end of the week, and we're gonna do the weekly recap and wire pickups at the beginning of the week.
Facts.
You know, hey, look, y'all gonna see us all year and years to come. We got hosts coming in from time to time, but this is your core right here. Your boy Heart to Start Kev, Brody Cortez, aka Champ, Guccini JD. You know, and like I said, man, that's a good show, y'all. And let's start strong. And hey, best of luck to everybody. Follow us on Twitter at Heart to Start Kev.
Yes, sir. Brody Cortez on Twitter. I'm not on Instagram. I'm not a picture guy.
Yeah.
Hey,
man,
cheers to the podcast, man. Let's do it, man.
Yes, sir.
Episode
Hey.
1, baby.
Facts. JHook916 on Twitter, man. That's where I'm at, man.
916.
Facts.
Let's go. NFL season is here, baby.
Hey,
Uh-oh.
tomorrow.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Man, what that motherfucking timer say?